Fala galera, soltei só um trailerzinho antes. Como eu falei, a última partida foi pro overtime, então ainda não tem disponível a transmissão da partida que a gente vai acompanhar. Estou só esperando um pouquinho, eles já avisaram que deve começar em cerca de 5 a 10 minutos. Então, vou dar uma atualizada do que aconteceu na final dos Nationals da D2, que acabou de acabar esse jogo. Como eu falei, foi um jogo entre a Southeastern e a ECCB Essex, que é uma das faculdades melhores da D2. Ela foi pro overtime, e no overtime a Southeastern, que é da conferência de Iowa, falei, quem estava na live ontem entendeu várias coisas que eu falei sobre a maior conferência, a conferência mais disputada, que é justamente a conferência de Iowa. Então, contando divisão 1 e divisão 2, eles tinham 3 times da mesma conferência jogando semifinal. Tinha Iowa Lakes, Iowa Western, que está na final da D1 agora, e a Southeastern, que também foi para final da D2 e foi campeã com gol de brasileiro. Então vou soltar aqui, eles postaram todos os gols no Twitter da NJCAA, então vou compartilhar aqui para vocês verem. O jogo ficou em 2-2, foi para o overtime, e no overtime o brasileiro Guilherme fez um golaço com personalidade, então vocês vão ver como que foi um pouco. Vou compartilhar aqui minha tela, me avisa se vocês estão escutando bem o áudio para a gente poder pegar pelo menos os gols dessa outra final. Então, deixa eu ver se está certo o compartilhamento. Estão vendo aqui? Então, a CCB abriu o placar com esse gol. Rebote do goleiro ali, um rebote bem juvenil até. Então, com 19 minutos, deixar o replay aí. A CCB abriu o placar. Então, 1-0 CCB. A CCB não tem nenhum brasileiro, mas a Southeastern estava com vários brasileiros no elenco. Peraí. Eles empataram a Southeastern. Ali faltando 13 minutos. Abriu a bola na ponta, aquilo que eu falo, os pontas sempre atacam muito. E gol de novo, né? Gol de artilheiro. Cortou pro meio e empatou. Depois a CCB botou a CCB na frente de novo. Então é isso, a CCB, eles são cheios de japoneses, acho que jogada do japonês ali. O goleirão da Southeastern não estava muito bem, isso tudo no primeiro tempo ainda. Então a CCB ficou com 2-1, ela estava ganhando de 1-0, ganhou de 2-1, mas acabou perdendo no overtime.
Played ahead, Portillo now with a look. Andy sets, fires, shot, good! Goal for Andy Portillo!
E aí no segundo tempo, faltando 4 minutos, deve ter sido emocionante esse jogo. Já tô até arrependido de não ter transmitido. Faltando 4 minutos, a Southeastern empatou com esse gol de novo do número 9. E era isso, ó, o título tava indo para CCB. Eles empataram faltando 4 minutos, lembrando que esse cronômetro ali é regressivo, faltando 4 minutos para acabar o jogo. O título estava na mão da CCB. E aquilo que eu falei já várias vezes também, se o jogo ficar empatado, ele vai para o overtime, não tem vantagem de melhor campanha, enfim. As duas faculdades também não eram número 1 nem número 2 do país, não. Foram os zebras, entre aspas. Mas a Southeastern é muito forte, empatou no final. Peraí, pra eu botar aqui. E olha o gol que o brasileiro Guilherme fez no overtime, faltando 7 minutos pro overtime. Chegou na frente do goleiro e deu uma cavadinha, deve ser corintiano, aprendeu com o Romarinho esse gol aí. Então, fera demais, gol de brasileiro, gol do título da Junior College. Uma faculdade que estava perdendo 2 vezes, empatou faltando 4 minutos, estava praticamente já perdendo o título, e o Guilherme, cara a cara com o goleiro, teve a calma para fazer esse golaço.
The winner and national champions, Essex. They Almeida charging hard at it. Chuna gets it right back for Southeastern. Battling off his defender. Chuna again around another defender. Chuna is going to wind the fire here. Tap up and in! The goal! The winner and national...
Deixa eu parar aqui rapidão. Mas é isso, Southeastern, então, campeã da D2, já foi uma campeã da conferência de Iowa, e agora esse Iowa Western ganhar, vai ser uma conferência com 2 campeões nacionais. Então, de novo, você que aí está procurando uma oportunidade, essa conferência é uma conferência muito forte de Junior College. Eu tenho um atleta fechado para ir agora em agosto para Nyack, que joga lá também, que é North Iowa Area Community College, Marshalltown, um atleta negociando também com a Iowa Lakes, que foi eliminada ontem. Então tem muito brasileiro indo para lá e realmente é uma conferência muito forte. Então quem está acompanhando aqui, que quiser dica de conferência, pode olhar essa conferência porque tem muitas equipes fortes por lá. A transmissão ainda não começou por aqui, então vou soltar mais alguns vídeos aqui para a galera ir assistindo, mas pode deixar que eu tô de olho aqui, não acha que eu vou perder o começo do jogo, não. Tô sempre atualizando a página, e realmente, por ter ido pro overtime, realmente dá um atraso aí, já tá com 11 minutos atrasados, mas porque eles estão jogando no mesmo estádio, tem que fazer toda a logística de tirar o time, evacuar, vestiário, tem comemoração, então realmente tem esse atrasozinho um pouco nisso aí. Fechado? Vou soltar só um trailer aqui para vocês. Peraí. Ó, o Nicolas é o que eu falei, que estava conversando com a Iowa Lakes, está aqui conversando. O coach foi para os Nationals, então deu uma parada, e aí a gente vai retomar agora o contato com ele para terminar essa negociação, tomara que dê tudo certo. Deixa eu soltar aqui. Fala, galera, começou a transmissão, já vou soltar aqui, só quis comentar um pouco antes. O Lucas Magno, pô, foi zagueiro nosso do Travel Team, lá no início da empresa, né? Foi um dos primeiros atletas que eu embarquei, primeira turma de atletas. Ele jogou NAIA, jogou Junior College também, foi para Western Texas. O Western Texas estava nos Nationals também, ele foi para uma Junior College muito alta, depois transferiu para uma D2, NCAA, que é a Shorter. E agora ele continua nos Estados Unidos já trabalhando como coach, trabalhou com coach de pessoa menor, e agora tem novidades aí, vai ser provavelmente um assistant coach de uma NCAA também. Então, caminho que a gente falou, Junior College, transfere para a NCAA, vai continuar trabalhando com futebol, trabalhando com universitário. O Lucas provavelmente vai continuar morando muito tempo para os Estados Unidos ainda, então muito fera acompanhar a caminhada do Lucão, a gente está sempre conversando por aí. Roberto também falou, top, tô ansioso para ver. Galera, lembra de clicar no like também, inscrever no canal quem não tá. Vou soltar agora já a transmissão. O Gabriel falou que também tá negociando com a Iowa Lakes. Eles realmente negociam com muito brasileiro. Espero que dê tudo certo aí pro Nicolas, pro Gabriel também, porque realmente o coach saiu, né, para os Nationals, então realmente deu uma parada de responder, mas agora vai retornar. Outra coisa que a gente está falando sempre com os atletas também é que tá tendo ainda muita procura de treinador, então quem tá fazendo recrutamento e quer embarcar em 2021 ainda, não larga a bola, porque tem muita coisa acontecendo, é uma temporada muito atípica, né, que a gente falou. Normalmente nessa época, os coaches já tinham terminado a temporada deles lá atrás, em dezembro, então eles tinham o spring inteiro para negociar. Agora não, a temporada deles está acabando agora, tá em cima, então ainda tem muito coach trabalhando propostas. Fechado? Vou soltar aqui a transmissão já para vocês E aí, aquilo que a gente sempre faz, vai acontecendo alguma coisa que eu vou comentando, eu vou aparecendo aqui para falar com vocês. Fechado, soltar aqui a transmissão e é isso. Se quiser comentar aí quem vocês acham que vão ser campeão, Iowa Western ou Salt Lake, eu acho que vai ser Iowa Western, justamente pelo nível que eles estão, tão invictos na temporada e mesmo assim jogando uma conferência muito competitiva. Então, vou soltar aí a transmissão e a gente vai comentando. Comenta por aí quem que vocês acham que vai ser campeão. Valeu, abraço, já volto.
Now we look at Salt Lake starters under Coach Mark Davis in his 5th season. Number 1, Christian Oliveris, Oxnard, California. He's done a great job in goal. 1 goal given up all tournament. Number 2, Blaine Chambers. Number 3, Paul Richnow. Number 4, Jacob Contreras. Number 27. Number
Fala, galera, eu tentei mudar o site da transmissão, porque nesse início foi o que aconteceu ontem também. Tava travando, acho que de muita gente entrando, mas tava só os times se apresentando, mas agora acho que vai rolar. Pera aí.
And they've been very good, not this year, but just other years too. I mean, it's a steady program. Salt Lake, making their first appearance here at Nationals, but it's looking like that they have found something after that, initial hiccup in pool play. They have looked ultra aggressive and very confident overall in that win against Barton, and then obviously in the semifinal showdown too.
Yeah, we know. Talk about the offense. Of course, it's easy to do where these 2 squads rank in offensive stats, but also they've now touches in defensive side. Iowa Western, you have to allow a goal here in Wichita. Salt Lake has 12 shutouts on the season. So again, they're great on both sides of the ball. It's 1 versus 2, both pretty much all the way across, both district champions. Tremendous season for both squads. And then Salt Lake, this is the first time we've seen them in their road uniforms. This will be the only matchup that we would have seen them in their road uniforms at the all blue unis for them.
Fala, Pablo. Como eu comentei desde o início da transmissão, não tem hoje nenhum brasileiro em campo nas 2 equipes. Então, vamos torcer aí pelo melhor time agora. A gente não vai ser muito clubista. E muito fera, eu tô vendo aqui a interação de vocês. 3 atletas negociando com Iowa Lakes, né? Eu falei que tinha um atleta nosso, é o Nicolas, que tá aí. Mas legal, até se quiserem depois trocar alguma ideia, porque realmente o processo é o mesmo para todos, então legal conversar com pessoas que estão indo junto.
Christian Oliveris has had a very nice tournament. The 1 goal he did give up was a miscommunication.
O Breno e o Felipe, que estão aqui também, foram atletas nossos, da Northeast, que também joga essa mesma conferência, e jogaram contra a Iowa Western. A Iowa Western, aquilo que eu falei na transmissão de ontem, eles só tem 4 americanos, então tem gente do mundo inteiro, Austrália, Chile, Argentina, o Breno sabe também, né? Então, é isso, tá com muito estrangeiro, o time inteiro estrangeiro. Daqui a pouco eu vou pegar aqui a lista inteira, vocês vão ver, mas brasileiro que o Breno falou que tinha realmente saiu, não sei se ele formou, transferiu. Tem atleta de Iowa Western também, que o Breno jogou acho que há 2 temporadas atrás, o Breno e Felipe, que ele foi direto para a USL Championship, direto de uma Junior College para o profissional. É um atleta do Chile também, depois eu pego o nome dele. Então o nível lá é altíssimo, eles pegam atletas de base, de times profissionais do mundo inteiro.
I think we described yesterday Iowa Western is very methodical, very they wore down Iowa Lakes as they go, because that game was close early on, and for a fair amount of it, it was just Iowa Western just kept grinding at them and wore down that Lakers squad. It was a 10 seed, made it all the way to the semifinals.
Yeah, they got an early goal in the 6th minute, did the Reavers, but it was 1-0 until the 75th minute when Southern got his 2nd goal. So, I mean, yeah, like you said, it was a tight affair for a good, significant portion of the match itself.
Salt Lake with the ball now.
E para quem tá perdido aí, perdeu a entrada, tudo, Iowa Western é a de branco e Salt Lake é a de azul. Fechado?
Score on the Reavers. Also fun to see as well as fans have shown up for this one. I'm assuming fans for both sides, or maybe just soccer fans in general here in the Wichita area. We do have a player down. It'll be a time.
I know Iowa Western fans travel. I've had some interaction with some of their other sports programs, being in the Jayhawk Conference, for a few years myself, and playing them. And I've seen their fans. I saw their fans here, and Salt Lake, though, they traveled pretty well too. They've had some fans in attendance all the days that they've been in action. So, a little bit of a longer trek for them, obviously from Utah, but.
That is number 19, Azrael Johnson, sophomore from Malawi. Trainer talking to him on the way over. So we'll have our first substitution of the game.
Now in the game for the Bruins, number 17, Jason Chavez.
Jason Chavez checks in.
With Johnson leaving and you mentioning where he's from, Malawi, that was one of the more unique countries represented here at the tournament.
I believe he's the only player from that country in the tournament.
Yes.
There's remember Jelf from Senegal as well. We saw him play yesterday in goal. But that is we talk about in the earlier game. We're talking about on and off again. A lot of international flavor all across the junior college ranks. Great opportunity to start here. That's part of the slogan, or maybe it is the slogan for the NJCAA, and it's a great one for
start here.
And it's perfect. It's apt, and opportunities both for American students and students worldwide, and both of these squads do boast a wide variety of players from different countries.
And it allows me to at least slip in my nugget of information from the D2 game. 51 countries, again, if you count Virgin Islands as its own separate country, as it is a territory of the United States. But if you're counting Virgin Islands, 51 different countries represented.
And that's just of the 24 teams.
Yes,
for Division I, Division II. Add in all the rest of them. Almost might be easier to say which countries aren't represented. But anyway, on the far side, Reavers again trying to make. They've been pretty aggressive in the early going. They have 2 corner kicks already. That wasn't a shot, but it was again trying to get something quick and easy, and particularly on the quick side. Again, they came out hot early yesterday. Although both teams did, as memory serves.
Yeah, and both teams actually scored within the. It was this first 6 minutes for Iowa Western, the first 2 minutes for Salt Lake.
Impressive. In pursuit. Castro can't. No, that wasn't Castro. Sorry, that's Kawahara. Number 20 for Iowa Western. Tries to track it down, but instead Olivares comes away with it. Oh, but Creighton, a nice play. That's Kwashi. You can hear it. I don't know if you can catch it on the mic, but while there are a lot of fans here cheering things on, the bench is also quite loud for both these teams.
Yeah, very chattery over there on the sideline, in a good way.
In a good way, yeah. That's the difference between chattery and chirping, right?
Yes.
Chirping, that's really not a good thing. Unless it's birds, or it's early in the morning. Maybe that's bad too. Anyway, Olivares puts it in play. Once again, right to the Reavers.
Boa, José, é exatamente isso que o Lucas falou. Eles estão no verão agora, coisa que você vai ver, vai ter parada para água, porque é isso, deve estar escurecendo ali por volta de 9h30 por ser verão. Aqui o Breno e Felipe, que eu falei, o atleta lá da Iowa Western, que foi pro profissional, ele jogou contra vocês, ó, vê se dá para ver, é o Damian, acho que ele é chileno, ele assinou direto da Iowa Western com a Union Omaha, aí ele tá jogando USL Pro, que jogou com vocês nas temporadas passadas. Aí, enfim, só para vocês verem também um exemplo de atleta que fez esse caminho. E uma coisa que o comentarista falou, que eu comentei também nos jogos passados, as duas equipes fizeram gols nos primeiros 5 minutos. Então, teve essa certa vantagem na semifinal, uma coisa que agora vai ser um jogo mais franco ali, um jogo mais nivelado. As duas equipes têm um nível muito alto e vão controlando por aí.
Bombito gets it to Prego. Back to Bombito. Western offense showing a lot of patience. And they know they're up against quite the challenge defensively over there with Salt Lake. In fact, I thought it was of note, all the coaches, there's a pass, try to go right in the middle. Well defensed. Salt Lake with it now on the far side. Trying to advance it that way. Nice effort there, Semawusu. He had 2 goals yesterday. Levante Johnson, number 9, another active offensive player for Salt Lake. 2 of them were near it. Couldn't keep the handle on it, and it ends up going back over to Iowa Western.
Yeah, each team actually had a multi-goal scorer yesterday for them in their victories.
It's Evan Southern, number 28 for Iowa Western. Scored 2. I don't know how the Division II side was. Division I side was, I think when we started the day, our first pool game back on Saturday was all 1-0 games. I said, you have to see a hat trick.
Yeah, I didn't see a hat trick. We didn't have a lot of games where that was a valuable option because there wasn't that many goals scored. We had one match on the D2 side, 7-2 decision, but no hat trick in that one either, surprisingly, with 7 goals for one team.
We've got a whistle. Too much contact by somebody.
I like the pace from the Reavers thus far in this showdown. They have 2 shots accredited to them. Salt Lake yet to send one off a shot opportunity, but the Reavers have definitely had it more in the attacking third than Salt Lake has had in their attacking third of this first half so far.
Normally during the tournament, we've seen Coach Brown in his second season for the Reavers.
E galera, uma coisa que eu falei também no início, eu postei no Instagram, mas realmente é legal a gente frisar sempre. Eles estão jogando agora a Iowa Western e a Salt Lake. Durante a temporada inteira, elas ficaram revezando entre número 1 e número 2 do país. Para quem vê de fora, para quem não entende o formato dos Estados Unidos, acha que é óbvio ter uma final, que é o número 1 contra o número 2. Mas, cara, isso é muito raro, porque as faculdades são ranqueadas jogando conferências diferentes. Então, Iowa Western e Salt Lake, por exemplo, provavelmente não podem nunca ter se enfrentado na história, só se eles jogarem nos Nationals uma contra a outra. Então, quando chega a fase de National, é mata-mata, gente eliminada, então é normal que o número 1 nem chegue na final. Nesse caso, chegou a número 1 e a número 2 para tirar aquela prova real de realmente quem merece o título. Então, esse jogo está sendo uma das finais mais justas, entre aspas, de acordo com o ranking. Porque é aquilo, mata-mata, um jogo que tiver mal perde a número 1. A gente viu na NCAA que a Clemson perdeu para Marshall, mas nesse caso não, concretizou realmente a número 1 e a número 2 do país chegando na final. Então é fera acompanhar isso também.
Salt Lake can do the same.
That's exactly. They're the very first championship, their first tournament appearance. That would be, I was going to say serendipitous. That's not the word I'm looking for. But anyway, there's a term for that. Or maybe just appropriate. That kind of works, I guess. Symmetrical. That's it. There's some symmetry. A lot of
Salt Lake women were in the semifinals, I believe, of the national tournament in Georgia, too.
Bouncing around. Spend most of this first 10 minutes. They're all watching the Iowa Western offense go to work. Salt Lake looks to threaten down finally. Still with only one shot on goal, though, in 10 minutes by Iowa Western.
I bring up the women.
One shot, sorry. I don't know if it. Go ahead.
I bring up the women. You talked about it yesterday. The coach, Mark Davis, is coach of the women too for Salt Lake. So he logged some miles going back between Wichita and Georgia, Kansas and Georgia, to kind of see both teams and have his assistants kind of help lead the way as well. So interesting to see how that unfolded.
Indeed, Coach Davis was actually in there. Wasn't even in attendance, wasn't even on the sideline for their must-win game against Barton pool play. They had to beat Barton by more than one goal. They did, which is how they advanced to the semifinals. But back here for their semifinal win yesterday. And again, normally that's not a problem. Normally the men's season is in the fall. If you haven't been keeping with current events, you realize that didn't happen last fall, fortunately. For the student athletes and coaches and everyone involved, and just the sport in general, they were able to move it. There were some scheduling challenges all across the board when you do that, but they did get things moved.
Fala, Vitor. Valeu aí pela moral. Galera, só lembrando também que a gente tá aí com superchat ativado. O jogo foi pago em dólar, então se alguém quiser ajudar aí, dá uma doação, sei lá como que faz aí, mas manda um superchat aí pra galera. Ó, o Ismael, o argentino, nosso parceiro que estava ontem na live, torcedor do Riquelme, tá aprendendo português aqui no canal da Team Brazucas. Mas é isso, Ismael, quem que você acha que vai ganhar aí hoje? Iowa Western, Salt Lake, deixa eu ver, o Arthur falou, tô estudando para ir em 2024. Cara, Arthur, perfeito, se o seu planejamento tá esse e tá para frente, provavelmente você começou na idade certa, é coisa que a gente sempre conversa com o Felipe, Breno, a galera que tá lá. Quanto antes você descobre sobre isso e foca, cara, maiores são suas chances de chegar em faculdades de nível maior, com mais bolsa. Então, com certeza, parabéns aí por já estar começando, mesmo com muito tempo para fazer o processo com mais calma e com certeza com mais resultado. Então, Roberto, essa pergunta de ter o vídeo e não ter TOEFL, cara, é sempre um termômetro ali de saber se realmente você começa ou não, porque são dois lados. Tem treinador que vai querer conversar com você, você já pode começar realmente a conversar, ele vai te falar o que é o TOEFL, e tem o treinador que vai ver o seu e-mail e vai te ignorar porque vai falar, cara, eu não posso ficar perdendo tempo. Imagina um treinador universitário, isso o Lucas que está aí agora, que está trabalhando também, que foi atleta nosso agora, coach, assistant coach, ele sabe na pele, cara, o treinador não gosta e ele não pode ficar perdendo tempo com o atleta. Imagina você é o atleta que o treinador começa a conversar com você, gosta de você, chega lá na hora de fazer o TOEFL, você não tira, ou então nem quer fazer o TOEFL e dá dor de cabeça para o treinador. Então, cara, cada vez mais brasileiros fazendo esse processo mal instruídos e da forma errada, vai queimando de novo o nome do brasileiro nesse ponto. Tem muito treinador que já não gosta de falar mais com brasileiro sem TOEFL, porque já caiu nessa de ficar conversando e o cara lá na frente dá para trás. Então o Caio falou que foi o caso dele. Isso acontece sim, já tive vários atletas que fizeram isso também, mas é aquilo, você tá botando sua conta em risco e realmente você tem que ver se isso vale a pena. Se fosse eu, falando do meu processo, eu faria com calma, faria o TOEFL, que foi o que eu fiz no caso. Fui direto para o NCAA, aí entra o ponto de atleta que fica frustrado, falando, não tenho proposta, ou então ninguém me responde. Aí quando vê ele tá mandando só vídeo sem TOEFL, cara, volta atrás, dá um passo para trás, faz o que você tem que ser feito, e depois o seu processo vai seguir muito mais normal. É a dica que eu dou, mas lógico que você pode começar a contactar antes. Eu tenho atletas também meus que começam a contactar antes, mas sempre usando estratégias também, fala sobre simulado, conversa com o coach para ele ver que você tem um inglês bom, mas é aquilo, o mercado sempre está mexendo por ali e tem muito brasileiro fazendo o processo errado e acaba queimando todo mundo.
It is. That's their first trip down there. The first 15 minutes of play. A little programming note, just FYI. I believe I don't know why we wouldn't have do what we've been doing as far as water breaks go. Is that ball deflected? There, that was Prego trying to get something going for the Reaver offense. So there'll be a water break at both around the 30-minute mark and then around the 15-minute mark.
And right on cue.
It's almost like I may have looked at the time like, that's coming up soon. Well, that gives me a chance to remind all of you that you can order your official 2021 NJCAA Division I Men's Championship merchandise online at the NJCAA store. Visit shop.njcaa.org to view exclusive national championship and other NJCAA merchandise. Remember, for your first order, you can receive 10% off using the promo code WELCOME10. That is 10.
E quem tava também com a gente na transmissão ontem viu, eles estão dando water break, né, pausa para beber água, de 15 em 15 minutos. De novo, verão nos Estados Unidos, para quem ainda não viveu isso, acho que acha que Estados Unidos é frio, enfim. Mas não, verão lá é muito quente, até quem tá em estados, Breno e o Felipe estão em Nebraska, cara, muito quente, Iowa, muito quente, Chicago e Kansas, mais quente ainda. Então parece que tá muito quente por lá, até os comentários estão sempre falando disso.
That look for them, but they've been a little bit more on their heels than anything else. Not that the Reavers have a multitude of shots of their own, only two that were technically not on goal, but kind of right where I expected. We expected offense, but we could see them negate each other almost in that right. sense, because they're so good offensively between the two teams. The offense picked up in our first matchup after a little bit. We'll probably maybe kind of do the same here too, potentially.
Yeah, that last game we went Division II championship when the teams alternated goals until Southeastern didn't take the lead until they won the game.
Indeed, yeah. In OT, nonetheless. And,
right.
And they got plenty of guys up over on that Reavers bench moving around, just like you were talking about, obviously, with the substitutions that Iowa Western likes to do. They sent 5 in, with the very first substitution yesterday in the semifinals. They got a multitude of guys moving around now. So likely Coach Mike Brown will have some, game plan of those substitutions, again, being a similar, refreshing group coming in to spell guys, and that makes sense, especially given the heat. I mean, fresher guys in, you may be able to try to exploit some things.
E fora isso que o Antônio falou, né? O Toninho jogou os Nationals da D2 com a Prairie State, eles ganharam o primeiro jogo e o segundo jogo eles podiam até empatar, se eu não me engano, mas eles perderam de 2 gols de diferença, foram eliminados só no saldo de gols. Todas as equipes ficaram com 3 pontos. Então o Toninho viu isso, ele machucou no primeiro jogo, não jogou o segundo porque o jogo era no dia seguinte, não deu tempo nem de recuperar. E quem estava aqui na live ontem viu que nesse mesmo horário a Salt Lake estava jogando, então eles não tiveram nem 24 horas de recuperação de um jogo para o outro. Então realmente isso pesa, a perna pesa também, emocional pesa, enfim, um monte de coisa. E o Felipe falou justamente disso. Ele tá em Nebraska eu tava nessa realidade também em Iowa, que é ali do lado. É um inverno muito frio, mas o calor também muito quente, seco ali, né, que é a região central. Então é loucura mesmo. Pré-temporada tinha atleta que pegava insolação, atleta que chega mal informado, não passa protetor, enfim, toda essa loucura do verão dos Estados Unidos.
It has been a great few days here in Wichita. We've had, maybe certainly on the warmer side for the semifinals and finals. We just held off. Let us get all the games in easily. And this is the culmination of what's been a great week of soccer action. Whistle is going to go against Salt Lake. And we'll see what the Reavers put into play from here.
Yeah, Condi upended right there to set up this free kick. And it'll be a good spot here for Iowa Western to put together a set piece for themselves and see what come to fruition with just a little over 28 minutes to go before intermission.
Yeah, looks like Southern's going to take the kick, although he does a pro bow next to him. They discuss strategy here. Maybe something beyond, hey, get it in the goal. It looks like a 6-man wall? 5-man wall, I believe, actually. A lot of bodies there.
Yeah, 5-man wall with an extra guy a couple steps away. But.
Right. The kick is up, headed away, chested away, somewhere in the upper body. Right into the wall, though, with Southern's kick. We were still the ball, though, going to work, trying to get the ball in the middle. Nifty ball moving, though, by Johnson to grab it away. He's like 1-on-3 for a second. He passes over, I believe it's Indeed, that is Owusu over there. Going down the right side. Reavers get it away, though. Ball stays in bounds over the far sideline. One good pass deserves another. It ends up, that's Ibrahim Kondi in the action. Officials has called time. I believe he wants to discuss some of the some burgeoning extracurriculars that were going on over there. Some not even gamesmanship, some chippiness, if you will.
Yeah, just address it, and I like this. I mean, you address it, give them a warning, an opportunity. You don't need to issue a card, and things like that. Give them the forewarning, and if it continues, then you go from there.
Fala, Arthur, o que eu falei ali atrás, provavelmente você é um pouco mais novo, dica é isso, não tem segredo nenhum, realmente é começar o seu processo. Se quiser, manda depois um direct lá, que eu consigo te orientar um pouco melhor, mas, cara, começa a entender, entende que as suas notas do ensino médio fazem toda a diferença lá para a bolsa acadêmica, entende como que você tem que começar a preparar o seu vídeo. Se você estiver no ensino médio, você tem 3 anos para gravar vídeo, então, com o planejamento certinho, você consegue fazer tudo. O problema que eu vejo muito é gente que fica aí, YouTube, vendo um monte de coisa, falando, esse é meu objetivo, mas não tira a bunda da cadeira e não começa. Então, começa o processo que você vai entender e tudo vai desenvolvendo muito melhor. Beleza?
One thing to want the call, and then insult to injury, I guess, is to have the call go against you when you're wanting the call. Over on the near side. Wing the ball back to center is not Chambers. It is Prego. Prego now the ball way far away now, back to midfield. Salt Lake again back in the.
Fala, Hall, atleta nosso também. Acabou de começar o jogo, eu vi que você tinha mandado lá, mas ainda não atualizei tudo. Você falou sobre propostas para atacante e tudo mais. Relaxa que depois eu vou atualizar lá, porque começou o jogo, dei uma focada aqui, beleza?
In the offensive area, but nothing really doing from it. Being both patient as well as running up against again, talk about both these teams and both sides of the ball. They just say they're both great on both sides. Way too much contact there. Down goes Delfino, the native from Argentina, freshman midfielder. Zone maintaining his position. Now Salt Lake on the attack, coming right down the middle. Nice kick by Castro to keep it going, but too much on it. He had Johnson in front of him. The pass a little more on target. Again,
Salt Lake's had a couple of advances, but not much to hang their hat on offensively in this first half as things have unfolded. But obviously, they're playing pretty stout, though. I mean, they've kept the Reavers off the board as well, so nothing to hang their head about. But offensively, I know that they would like, maybe a little bit more of the looks, especially comparative to how aggressive they've been offensively on the year.
Exactly. We're 20 minutes in, and both teams very limited as far as actual shots. That's what happens when you have 1 versus 2. The best of the best, if you will. Both make it all the way here to the finals. Now Western ball back on their side of the field, though. Now working over here the near sideline, passes it forward, gets it up to Prego. Prego pushes it forward. Nice defense play by Salt Lake. This reset entirely, but I'm really impressed by how aggressive the Iowa Western squad is, and still being aggressive despite certainly no ill effects from being on the field already for 20 minutes. But you look over there and I see it looks to be at least 5, if not 6, coming in for Iowa Western. Maybe
yeah, there might be 6 or 7 guys over there.
Ó, galera, e de novo, quem estava na transmissão ontem já viu eu comentando sobre isso. A Iowa Western tem um elenco grande e qualificado, tem vários japoneses muito bons no banco, então o treinador sempre faz isso, na hora que dá 20 minutos ali, praticamente metade, ele troca quase o time todo, ele vai fazer 7 substituições. E para quem não sabe, Junior College não tem limite de substituição, entrar e sair, coisa que a NCAA é um pouco mais flexível, mas tem uma certa restrição. Junior College não tem. Então, as faculdades que têm um elenco qualificado no banco faz muita diferença. Era uma coisa que a Norfish, do Breno, do Felipe sentia muito por não ter atletas bons no banco, na hora de substituir, acabava quebrando o ritmo inteiro da equipe. Então, isso em Junior College faz muita diferença. Então, até você que vai ser recrutado, primeiro ano, se você não for titular, sua chance de entrar em vários jogos e ter minutos em campo são altas, porque você pode sair e entrar ilimitado.
Dangerous position, I suppose, for particularly a threatening position, even better. For Salt Lake, still looking to get their second shot. Ball bounces around a fair amount, a little pinball action right there. A tete-a-tete, if you will. Now here on the near side. That pass to the far side. You saw what they were doing there. It's a nice idea to try to set up a Wusu over there. But Salt Lake defense, too good. Now we're going the other way. Now Iowa Western with an opportunity, shot and goal! Ibrahim Kandi gets a good look, gets the angle he wants, and they're just like that. The Reavers take their second shot and get on the board with it.
Ibrahim Kandi.
And so Kandi getting a goal yesterday gets the Reavers on the board here in the first half, and huge play early on, coming the way of the Reavers to take the early lead. And they got that, they jettisoned it up quick, made an opportunity there for Kandi to go after it, and well, he got the better of the matchup there against Oliveras.
He did. And here's your now it's a great time to change those lines up there.
1-0 então, Iowa Western trocando agora, entrando bonde dos japoneses aí, que devem ter se entrosados entre eles. Tem um treinador que usa isso. Muda o time inteiro de ataque, mas porque esse time treina junto e está entrosado. O gol foi do número 17, ele é internacional também, do Canadá, Quebec. Então, um atleta já de fora dos Estados Unidos, internacional, abrindo o placar. Eles devem mostrar até o replay num ângulo melhor, mas, cara, jogada de ponta, muito tradicional do college, ganhou na força física com o corpo e finalizou cruzado. Vamos deixar sair o replay que a gente comenta de novo.
Sideline, rotate it back across through the goalie. Oliveras tries to get it up to Jiba. Ball assisted out of bounds by the Reavers, so it will stay. Bruins to throw in. Nicely placed. Trying to be aggressive, get the ball up ahead. Salt Lake can't quite get to it. Once again, that's a Wusu that you can see the game plan trying to get ahead to a streaking. Been a streaking Wusu most of the time so far. It depends on which angle you're coming from. Jeep on the other side. Ball back to the middle, except the Reavers have it temporarily. Bruins with it, right back in midfield, right where we began the game. So like passing around on their half of the field, trying to respond to the 1-0 deficit they've got. Condi's goal. He's had a pretty good tournament, the Montreal native, Condi. Again, scoring yesterday in the semifinals. I would say perhaps the use of rotations makes it maybe a little harder to stand out when you're on this Iowa Western squad.
Well, it has to say something about the confidence in his guys, too, for Mike Brown. Sometimes you have more confidence. You're not going to say it as a coach, more confidence in a guy or two than another. But, I mean, he's, subbing out a lot of different guys, and they, key pieces here. And so he's got confidence up and down the roster and feels comfortable with, making those big changes and stuff. And
Iowa Western does hang on to it. They threaten down there in the corner for a second, then pull it back out. Now working from their outfield. From the right side of the field to their left side.
Well, that was the Reavers' only third shot opportunity of the match. So
Certainly made the most of it. Ball knocked down. Kinetic, one of the few players who didn't get subbed out, number 15. That ball sails far left, easily tracked down by Olivares. We are under 18 and a half to play here in the first half. The 2021 NJCAA Men's Division I champions here in soccer. The final touches on our week-long adventure. While we watch Iowa Western bring the ball up, Mitchell Select Sports is proud to be the official match ball of the National Junior College Athletic Association. Select's Super FIFA match ball is used exclusively at all NJCAA soccer championships. Select Sport, inspired by history, but designed for the future.
yeah, Reavers just continue. I mean, yes, only 3 shots officially in the match, but they do have the goal, obviously, to lead 1-0. But I mean, they have really controlled the pace of play here in the first half.
And they'll get a good opportunity here. Maybe not the ideal angle, but they're going to have a kick in the offensive area. Let's see here. There's down there with the ball is number 3, Diego Quintana. I believe he'll be taking the kick. A little 2-man wall in front of him. Backing away from him is Vlad Jokic. So he passes it back out to. They'll restart the offense. Now here on the right, move it over to the right side. However, the pass unable to be corralled by his intended target. And it will be Salt Lake ball here to inbound. Is number 4, Jacob Contreras. Contreras, a native of Tucson, Arizona. Gonna jockey back and forth for it here. It will end up with Owusu. So like looking to find a little spark for their offense.
Yeah, just over 16 minutes to go here before intermission. And maybe the one surprising thing against the Reavers here in the first half is the fact that they've had 8 fouls against them. You would think that maybe would impede their play, but and allow obviously Salt Lake to get some things set up, but it hasn't. I mean, the Reavers have been pushing it up, and been controlling this first half.
I know Salt Lake fans won't like to hear this, but this game, if of the pool and semifinal games, at this point, most looks like they're opening game pool play more than any other one, which is not what they want to hear, I'm sure.
Well, I know you told me that Salt Lake's opening one, the only goal they surrendered, though, in that was just a miscue. This time it wasn't really a miscue that led to the goal. It was just Iowa Western being pretty darn good to put their offensive set together.
It's a little bit like, and I'm certainly not saying this anything like this, but it's a little bit like the similar game plan that Coastal Bend used was, just sure they didn't get a lot of they get anything else except the one goal, which was the ball ended up slowly. The defender was kicking it back. One of his defensemen was kicking it back to the goalkeeper, and he didn't get any velocity on it. Just sat there for a second, and one of the Coastal Lake players able to charge in and kick it in. The puck goes out of bounds, and we are time for another water break. That will enable me to finish what I was just talking about. In that Coastal Bend took advantage of that. But a lot of it was, the best way to keep a good offense scoring on you is just keep the ball away from them. And that's what Coastal Bend did here. And that's essentially what we're seeing Iowa Western do as well.
Yeah. It's an odd thing, but play a game of keep away more or less than anything else. And, the Reavers obviously have the advantage with the 1-0 goal on the board, and they're playing more keep away by being an aggressor in the sense for the first half as well. And Salt Lake's going to have to at least pull some things together to get some opportunities throughout the course of the contest.
take a look at some of the fans out here enjoying.
Olha, vocês estão vendo que agora lá são 9h50 e ainda tem sol, tá? Pôr do sol ali, mas ainda tem sol por lá. Acho que o Kansas até vai escurecer mais tarde um pouco, provavelmente no meio do segundo tempo ali já deve estar escuro com iluminação. E o Arthur perguntou qual dos dois times é mais qualificado. Cara, os dois times são muito fortes, como eu falei. O Iowa Western era número 1 do país, Salt Lake era número 2. As duas chegaram nos Nationals invictas, sem perder. Só que a Salt Lake perdeu o primeiro jogo da fase de grupos. Mas depois, enfim, recuperaram, classificaram e ganharam todos os outros jogos. Então o nível é muito parelho, mas a Iowa Western realmente ficou mais tempo como número 1. E pelos atletas que eu conheço que jogaram, o Breno jogou contra eles, o Gabriel Dias, que estava também na live ontem, jogou contra eles e falaram que realmente é a equipe mais forte que eles enfrentaram na Junior College. Então realmente é um time muito forte, sim.
More than anything else, it's just been whistles for some fouls for any other statistical capacity. There has been a couple of corners for Iowa Western as well, but that's about it. And
so I didn't expect a high scoring affair. I thought maybe I know it's only 1-0. I thought it might feel more even, I suppose. That's more of a.
I mean, when you look back at the pool play matches, you know, I mean, Iowa Western's 2 decisions were 1-0, and one of the decisions, obviously, for Salt Lake was 1-0 against them. But so yeah, they weren't really necessarily high scoring. But then you flip the script, and the semifinals were dominated 3-0 and 4-0. So you say that's a little more high scoring. So. Definitely argument can be made for both sides of how you thought that this one would play itself out.
Indeed, both teams come in averaging over 4 goals per game. Iowa Western higher, it's at 4.76, closer to 5, while Salt Lake right at 4. As Iowa Western working on the far sideline, at least for a second. Nifty play to keep the ball alive. That's Iowa Western with the ball now coming down the left side. Good stop move. Still keeps the ball. A little pass in. Header no good. The ball's going to be tracked down. Oliveris grabs it off the bounce. Not a bad look, but that header certainly wasn't where number 18, Jiwoo Lee. Again, Lee was a starter in the last game. Actually, starter in the last 2 games. He's coming off the bench today.
Yeah, they changed up a couple starters, did Iowa Western, for this championship matchup. Stoppage of time, yellow card on top here.
That's our first yellow card.
Delfino looks like he's the booked party on that.
Guilty party walking off, the telltale sign of the recipient of a yellow card. So he goes out.
Number 20.
Boa, o Lucas me corrigiu, porque realmente estava até conversando hoje com o coach da Flórida, o Tawan, e a Flórida tá 1 hora só a menos, né? Então seriam 8h59, 9 horas, e lá são 2 horas a menos, então tá dando 8 horas agora. Mas é isso. E o Breno falou exatamente, cara, a Iowa Western realmente tem estrutura, dinheiro para bolsa, coisa de quase fora do padrão Junior College mesmo. E eles jogam normalmente contra D1, D2 e costumam ganhar também. Então, de dinheiro, provavelmente realmente está por aí, sim.
Merdi Liko, number 9, part of that line change from a little bit ago. There we go. Look at him.
I feel also now, I didn't feel it necessarily as much earlier, but a sense of frustration for Salt Lake. You got the yellow card come out, hear this interaction that's leading to the free kick, but then also just the fact that they're being stymied and stopped right around midfield so much.
Exactly, pick that there. Had their way with Harcum yesterday.
And getting the script flipped on them here in this one.
Let's see, Fredos feels so good. Yeah, the kick goes up. Kick is high, past everything. So it will be a goal kick for Oliveris. You can look at Vlad Jokic, the sophomore, who sent the ball far and away outside. So Oliveris puts the ball into play again. Bat around a little bit. Boy, every time I think that the Bruins are going to come away with it, and they do now, they are. It seems like they haven't, but now the Bruins trying to make sure get something happening here. Coming across, let's try the near side. Far side hasn't worked. Let's try the near side. Contreras with the ball. Taking it by himself all the way over to the left side. Fighting with the defender. That ball, it is out of bounds off of Salt Lake. Contreras.
That's the deepest the Bruins
Isso, o que o Breno falou exatamente. Eles ganharam da Duke, acho que tem 2 anos que eles jogam contra a Duke e ganham. E para quem não tá entendendo, Duke é Divisão 1, é NCAA, é a única Divisão 1 de Iowa que tem futebol masculino. Então, tem todo o dinheiro, tudo que possa ter de recurso de Iowa, que é um estado muito forte desde Junior College, que é o que a gente falou no início da transmissão. Tem Iowa Lakes, Marshalltown, Iowa Western, Southeastern agora chegando muito forte com dinheiro também. E a única D1 de Iowa é isso. Então eles podem pegar vários atletas por lá. É a Duke, a única D1. E a Iowa Western ganhou deles mesmo.
Dominating one yesterday. That kick's going to go out of bounds. It'll be a corner kick for Salt Lake. Sorry, for Iowa Western. It's off of Salt Lake. There we go.
When you're Salt Lake and you average 16.3 shots per match and you have 270 plus shots on the year, 160 shots on goal or so, this is definitely a foreign thing to you. So that's probably why it's kind of maybe getting them a little frustrated, I would think.
Western with the ball on the right side. That's Arata Segusa, 13. Passes it off. I say he got it back right there. Ball still up in the middle of the field. Booted around a little bit. That looked like Segusa had the angle on it, but nice job by Salt Lake. And then just like that, though, they give it right back to Iowa Western. We are under 9 minutes. Clock on your screen is the correct time on the, let's call it on the nose. Battle back and forth, no whistle. Looks like Jiva could have drawn one there, but he does not. Salt Lake keeps it, though. Not coming over here to the near side again, once again with Contreras. And they're going to go backwards, try to go forwards yet again. Azrael Johnson gets it over to the right side. Nifty passing. Unfortunately, it's just all on their half of the field.
Yeah. Once they advance it past midfield, there hasn't been many times that they've got it much farther than that.
And on cue, there was this script played out as you said it would. Johnson's pass intercepted and going back the other way. Iowa Western looking to add to their 1-0 lead here in the opening half of our 2020.
Isso, galera, o que o Breno falou também aqui, disso de transmissão interna, é até legal e todas as faculdades costumam ter. Ó, o ataque de Salt Lake, travado. Mas até para os próprios atletas que fazem communication, marketing, terem um estágio bem profissional dentro da faculdade. Então, se você faz jornalismo esportivo, você cobre as equipes da faculdade. Se você faz marketing, você pode cuidar dessa parte de marketing das equipes. Agora com rede social crescendo muito, você cuida das redes sociais das equipes, então por isso que a gente vê um profissionalismo, porque os próprios estudantes já trabalham cobrindo as equipes, então cada vez mais o nível de profissionalismo está subindo e eles vão aproveitando para ter uma experiência de praticamente um time profissional para depois ir trabalhar numa ESPN, uma CBN, uma Fox Sports, enfim.
Bounces around a minute and for a second rather, and Iowa Western. I don't think that's still in bounds, my friend, and it's not. Ball will stay with the Bruins. They put them in from the far side. Again, getting their first decent looks at the goal, though, for some time. We can capitalize on that, and as soon as I get those words out of my mouth, we're going back the other way. Fall into a lot of traffic, though. And it will go over to the Bruins. Chambers throws it in. Trying to get the ball to Johnson, working on the far side. Set the offense just past midfield, but go back and rotate it around. Actually, rotate it all the way back to Oliveras. And that kick, pretty sure that's not where Oliveras wanted that thing to go.
I was just about to say, I felt like Salt Lake was having a little bit more confidence restored to them. But a situation like that, unfortunately, might you just cap that off quick. Because definitely a mistake there that's going to lead Western to get it right back into the attacking third, potentially.
Yeah, that's one of those things about how quickly the momentum can shift, how quickly things change. Reavers now working the ball ahead on the right side. The pass in the middle, it's well defensed. Number 3 for Salt Lake, Paul Rich now in the right place to get it. However, Salt Lake can't get it out. And it'll be a throw. Reavers now working the ball ahead. That's time just to keep up with the action, I suppose. Little ball out of bounds. Oliveras with the goal kick.
I mean, he's faced a couple of situations.
Yes.
One unfolding a little while ago that resulted in that corner, but again, it just hasn't been. I mean, they've been far and few between for Salt Lake.
We mentioned this is Salt Lake's first tournament appearance, so ergo their first title game, first appearance in semis, first win in the semis, all those kind of first that always happen. On the other hand, Iowa Western, much more of a, I hesitate to use words like dynasty, but it's much more of a storied program, if you will, then. 7 tournament appearance, and they did win the title 8 years ago. Not that it matters, there's a whole lot of carryover. Mike Brown in his second season, and certainly none of the players were there, but again, we talked about it a fair amount yesterday about the tradition. And
yeah, the pedigree of the program, just huge. I mean, you have that sense of, having to fulfill that, success that has been accomplished by wearing a Reavers jersey, and they've been to the tournament for consecutive seasons and such, and so they've just grown accustomed to championship caliber play.
Exactly. Act like you've been here before, though they have been here before. That kick deep. We're down at midfield. Salt Lake with it. That looked like a handball to me.
That was definitely close.
Guys, do my eyes deceive me type moment? But anyway, Nicoliko. Nothing whistled, so it didn't happen. Salt Lake with it again on the far side. Trying to find something, get something going. Kind of offensive consistency, or at least a reasonable shot. They probably settle for that here with less than 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Still 1-0 Iowa Western. Not bad passing, but maybe not always going to the intended target, but managed to keep the ball. Salt Lake kind of rotating there in the middle, watching Samson Aisu. There he is with the ball right now. He lifts it up and over. Yeah, that's going to go against number 6, Mason McCray.
I was just going over the back there of one of the Reavers defenders, and they're going to call that every single time if there's action and collisions with one of the respective guys in that interaction coming from behind where the other player can't see. They're going to call you a foul on that.
I feel like I'd love to look this up, but I really don't want to look this up because I feel like it's a negative stat. But I feel like every game I've called, Mason McCray has gotten at least one penalty. If not, it feels like a yellow card every game. It can't, not literally possible, I don't think. But it feels like he tends to play physically, and so there was an example of it down there.
Yeah, and typically with other fouls outside of the yellow cards and red cards, they're not going to keep track of who it is. Just it doesn't ultimately matter in the statistical capacity. But everybody's going to have some physicality and interaction in a match. I mean, that's just part of the game and match, overall.
Come back with Salt Lake with the ball, trying to make something happen here. Final minute 10 on the clock. Bruins have had the ball on their attacking third more often here in the last couple of minutes of play. Here, the waning minutes of the first half. Kick back out right in the center is number 19, Johnson. Johnson gets over to the right side. Under minute play against clock UC is pretty much clock on the field. Bruins working the ball, taking their time here. Again, final 40 seconds now. Right place to attack. Certainly don't want to give the ball back to the. I'll say it again, the Reavers. And instead, though, that happens. That kick. That's what they intended to do. That was.
I mean, it pretty much squashes the offensive chance of Salt Lake because they're winning just moments and seconds left to go.
And turning with a 1-0 lead, Millard in no hurry to get this in.
8, 7, 6,
Ball
5,
up in the air for
4,
many seconds.
3,
A foot race to it for the final 2 seconds.
1,
Can't get
0,
the shot.
time.
Was trying for it. Love to see the hustle there at the end. As the Reavers yet again trying to add to their point total.
Iowa Western Community College.
It is halftime scores. Iowa
Salt
Western
Lake
Community
Bruins
Community
0.
College Reavers 1. Salt Lake Community College Bruins 0. Mike, final thoughts on that first half?
Yeah, I mean, Reavers pretty much control most of it. Salt Lake had some offensive possessions there within the last 5 minutes of the first half that you take a little bit of positivity out of. You would have liked to get some better looks, not necessarily, it didn't have to result in a shot, but a couple better looks. They did have 2 shots, 1 on goal. Reavers had 4 shots, 1 on goal in the first half. And, I mean, it's been all Reavers, in my opinion, thus far. And the Condi goal.
E é isso, galera. Intervalo agora, 1-0 Iowa Western. Realmente dominou mais o jogo, tentou encontrar mais chances. Teve aquela chance da Salt Lake ali pelo canto esquerdo. Mas é isso. Vou soltar um pouco o intervalo do jeito que está a transmissão. E daqui a pouco eu chego aqui com os gols da final da D2, que foi antes desse jogo. É um jogo decidido por brasileiro no overtime com cavadinha por cima do goleiro. Então já eu trago aqui os gols e a gente dá uma comentada também de novo.
As the second largest intercollegiate athletic association in the country, the NJCAA serves not only a pivotal role in college athletics, but in higher education. The NJCAA Foundation aims to move the association forward through resources, grant programs, and other special initiatives. Your gift to the NJCAA Foundation will make a difference and create opportunities.
Over 30 majors in 4 divisions.
Nursing, education, criminal justice,
exercise science. This is one of the very few schools to honor leadership with scholarship.
Our students go out into the world with confidence.
I know who I am.
Pfeiffer has it all. The only thing that's missing is you.
As the second largest intercollegiate athletic association in the country, the NJCAA serves not only a pivotal role in college athletics, but in higher education. The NJCAA Foundation aims to move the association forward through resources, grant programs, and other special initiatives. Your gift to the NJCAA Foundation will make a difference and create opportunities.
Over 30 majors in 4 divisions.
Nursing, education, criminal justice.
Exercise science. This is one of the very few schools to honor leadership with scholarship.
Our students go out into the world with confidence.
I know who I am.
Pfeiffer has it all. The only thing that's missing is you.
To the NJCAA Foundation will make a difference and create opportunities.
Over 30 majors in 4 divisions.
Nursing, education, criminal justice.
Exercise science. This is one of the very few schools to honor leadership with scholarship.
Our students go out into the world with confidence.
I know who I am.
Pfeiffer has it all. The only thing that's missing is you.
As the second largest intercollegiate athletic association in the country, the NJCAA serves not only a pivotal role in college athletics, but in higher education. The NJCAA Foundation aims to move the association forward through resources, grant programs, and other special initiatives. Your gift to the NJCAA Foundation will make a difference and create opportunities.
Over 30 majors in 4 divisions.
Nursing, education, criminal justice.
exercise science. This is one of the very few schools to honor leadership with scholarship.
Our students go out into the world with confidence.
I know who I am.
Pfeiffer has it all. The only thing that's missing is you.
As the second largest intercollegiate athletic association in the country, the NJCAA serves not only a pivotal role in college athletics, but in higher education. The NJCAA Foundation aims to move the association forward through resources, grant programs, and other special initiatives. Your gift to the NJCAA Foundation will make a difference and create opportunities.
Over 30 majors in 4 divisions.
Nursing, education, criminal justice.
Exercise science. This is one of the very few schools to honor leadership with scholarship.
Our students go out into the world with confidence.
I know who I am.
Pfeiffer has it all. The only thing that's missing is you.
As the second largest intercollegiate athletic association in the country, the NJCAA serves not only a pivotal role in college athletics, but in higher education. The NJCAA Foundation aims to move the association forward through resources, grant programs, and other special initiatives. Your gift to the NJCAA Foundation will make a difference and create opportunities.
Over 30 majors in 4 divisions.
Nursing, education, criminal justice.
Exercise science. This is one of the very few schools to honor leadership with scholarship.
Our students go out into the world with confidence.
I know who I am.
Pfeiffer has it all. The only thing that's missing is you.
Kind of laughing up here because actually on the halftime clock, they actually 2 more minutes of half. Neither team wants or needs it. They're ready to get this thing underway. Let's find our champion Again, 1-0 Iowa Western up over Salt Lake after one half of play. We get the second half underway now with that kick. Is Salt Lake ball. Bruins in their blue uniforms, now going left to right. Western white with blue stripes, going right to left. The first half that was, I'd say maybe not score-wise, but certainly felt dominated by Iowa Western.
Yeah, I mean, just one goal, obviously.
Fala, galera, voltando ao segundo tempo agora, uma coisa que a gente observou ontem, comentei bastante com a galera que estava assistindo, era que, pelo menos ontem, estava tendo uma ventania muito forte, os comentaristas falavam que estava tendo chuva de trovão, né, thunderstorm, e o vento estava a favor do lado direito da tela, o lado que agora Salt Lake está atacando. Hoje parece que está menos vento, só que se estiver ventando também, o vento tende a ser para a direção que Salt Lake está atacando agora. E uma coisa que eu falei várias vezes também, eu acho que quem vê de fora, quem nunca jogou em vento assim, pode até achar que é migué, mas, cara, os ventos nos Estados Unidos, em certos lugares, no Kansas, Iowa, Nebraska, é um vento muito forte, então realmente atrapalha quem está jogando contra ele e favorece quem está jogando a favor, porque os lançamentos chegam mais fácil. E a mesma coisa que eu falei também ontem, às vezes até o toque rasteiro, quando está ventando muito, a bola para, a bola não chega, então faz uma diferença. Então a tendência é que Salt Lake ataque mais agora no segundo tempo, mas vamos ver como vai ser.
I agree wholeheartedly. In fact, one of my favorite things that we actually an occasion on both games today. A couple of players getting a little confrontational with each other. The officials stepped right in both times and called them over and just felt a little bit like a stern father talking to.
Yes, and that's great too, because you let the guys continue and you don't feel like you have to issue cards, right off the bat. Now, obviously, if it continues to escalate, you need to do what you do. But let you talk to the guys, tell them what you see, and go from there.
That'll be a foul on Condi. Again, Condi is the one who scored the only goal of the match so far. And that was at the 24-minute mark. Down over here, Salt Lake with their best first opportunity of the half, and looks to be their best opportunity of the half. But we do see a yellow card come out. And it looks like that's going to be Maruki Kawahara, recipient of the card.
Huge spot here for Salt Lake. I mean, early in the second half, you're down by one. You haven't had a lot of opportunities, but you can find a way here to slither one through. Boom, it's a whole new ball game.
Exactly.
Now in the game for the Reapers, number 18, Ji-Woo Lee.
Ji-Woo Lee comes in for the yellow card recipient. Yiba back there, looks like he may take this kick. He's with Yokiyoshi as well, though. Yokiyoshi does tend to take these. 5-man wall in front of him. Officials get everyone where they should be, making sure the spacing is correct. Whistle. It does Yiba who takes it, and he takes it right to Millard.
I squared it up pretty nice, but I mean, it was right dead in the middle of the goal where right. Millard was just hanging out.
Didn't have to do much for it. Catches it, and here comes Iowa Western. Working on the left side. So he's going to rotate it through. Go ahead and attack the middle. Trying to get the ball to Southern in the middle there. Of course, showing 2 goals yesterday. Quiet so far today. There's some contact. Ball goes out of bounds. No reason to whistle anything anyway. Does stay with Iowa Western. Ball thrown in though. However, there's a whistle. Ahisu.
You talked about Southern's play. He's an obvious all-tournament team selection, which they select for the tournament overall. And, they'll announce that, by the way, in the post-game ceremony. They'll give the runner-up and then the championship trophies and medals out, and also announce the all-tournament team. So stay tuned. We'll have that, of course, here on the NJCAA network as well.
Well, at jump, I think if there were style points, might give Provo a couple style points for that, but that's about all that gets them. And Salt Lake with the ball again, now threading off the left side. Gets past one, can't get past the second. Bruins still with the ball. Now they're going to try their luck down the middle, except that jumped right in front of that. That was Provo yet again. Sends it up, trying to get to Southern yet again. Southern there. He's flying around. He's all over the place suddenly. It's Southern. One man, I won't say woman wrecking crew. He's trying to be.
It's almost like the Iowa Western defense, I mean, is just opening up a textbook and reading the plays or reading
right?
They're like a fortune teller and just know where the ball is going to go.
Yeah.
They're just taking it away with ease.
Gets the ball to Southern. Southern shot up and tipped away. Actually, not tipped. It was just no good. Southern with that would have been a difficult shot at any rate. Like that was
no doubt. Yeah.
Great effort though. Ball we put back in play by all the Bears.
Yeah, impressive that he pulled the angle on that. But yeah, just a bit too much loftiness behind that shot by Southern.
So there's now 5 minutes in the second half. Still 1-0. Salt Lake with the ball yet again. I'm moving the ball around to the far side. And finally past midfield. Here come the Bruins. Back in the middle, trying to get the ball to Johnson in there. Can't, but do keep a hold of it. So Wusu over there. Ball still alive though. A lot of really some pushing and shoving. The ball will stay with Salt Lake though. Jockeying for position. Ball already in play, quickly in play. And it will be a goal kick for Millard.
It hasn't led to a lot of opportunities, just one shot, but for Salt Lake. But they have been more aggressive.
Yes.
To start here the second half, and so I got to think that obviously that was discussed heavily at halftime. Hey, we've got to pick it up. We got to take some pace. We got to take some chances. Iowa Western controlled a lot in that first half. They want to balance it out and get their proper tries themselves.
Exactly, because particularly at this point, when you're at some point you have to put the ball in the net, one way or the other, and
can't win if you don't score.
Exactly, and particularly if you're playing a lot of the game on your half of the field, that makes it even harder. So I think the ball's gonna go back to Salt Lake. It is.
I just saw a boot. I was like, why did they just boot that out of play? But it was an extra ball.
Yeah, I'll give a shout out at some point to them. I'll even shout out here during the national championship game to all of the great support players here. Namely, I was thinking about the Ball Shaggers.
Yes.
As a not very glamorous. No one really. They just expect you to appear with the ball and then go get the one that flew out of bounds and who knows where it went, whether on top of a building. That's happened a couple of times. As we got Giba there, he's taking a shot. Hits goes good. Giba working that right side, comes in. He gives Salt Lake equal. He provides the equalizer for Salt Lake. There's the way I want to say that. That's a goal right there.
Oh, there you go. We talked about the more aggressive nature for Salt Lake, and they pays dividends. They start to get some confidence because they have been able to get into the attacking third and then strike right here to tie it up.
Great shot, and Millard he was just behind it.
In the 53rd minute of the contest.
Huge. That is huge to tie this contest up. And right now 1-1. 4 shots for Salt Lake, 3 on goal. Iowa Western's 5, but there's only been 1 on goal.
Golaço, hein, desse número 7. E até dei uma olhada aqui agora no roster rapidinho para passar para vocês. Ele é da própria cidade, de próprio Salt Lake City, Utah. Então ele é americano E ele é sophomore, ou seja, a temporada que ele tem que transferir agora. Então, várias faculdades D1 devem estar de olho nisso. Esse gol aí provavelmente vai contribuir para essa transferência dele, se ele já não tiver assinado também, porque normalmente atletas, quando chegam nisso, eles já estão sendo sondados há muito tempo atrás, então realmente pode ser que ele já fechou. Mas é isso, americano, Salt Lake 1-1, empatado. Se empatar, 2 tempos de overtime, 10 minutos com gol de ouro. Se persistir empatado, é pênaltis.
Yeah, Iowa Western's got to be careful. I mean, the momentum shift has been potentially heavy here, just with the goal and Salt Lake's aggressive, play here in the second half. Iowa Western got to stay the course and be the heady team that they have been all year, not let it rattle them.
Yeah, coming into this game, Iowa Western still undefeated on the season. Bruins just with 1 loss, and that was the opening round of pool play. 1 and 2, duking it out here. What championship? Johnson with the ball. He's working that left side, dishes it off to Owusu. Owusu's shot is right at Millard's chest. He fields it easily, but again, Salt Lake, suddenly the aggressors.
They're showing the flashes of the Salt Lake from yesterday.
That's exactly right. The first half looked like Salt Lake from opening round for the opening round. This definitely looks like the Salt Lake team we saw yesterday take care of business with the easy 4-0 win over Harcum. Maybe they're saving it up.
Well, they opened the bottle at a good time.
You're right. Ball over to Yuba again. Nope. Yuba's got a chance at this. He's going to go ahead and, nice defensive play, though. I thought he was going to go ahead and get a shot off before that, but the defense says, nope, we're not going to allow that. Not again, not now. So Iowa Western trying to make something happen. They can't handle the pass. It goes out of bounds. I hesitate to use the word rattled, but I will say that Iowa Western's playing a little uncharacteristically sloppy the last couple minutes.
Yeah, there's definitely some, not necessarily doubts creeping in, but unrest maybe.
Yes, unsettled, like the atmosphere can be sometimes around here. I glanced over at you and saw I did stare right into the sun, but it's a beautiful sunset going on over there. Working down the right side. Reavers with a chance. Ball poked away and then cleared. Nice job defensively for Salt Lake right there. They're going to go off and run. There's Johnson. Gets up to him. Oh, my Lord. The defense does get back in time. Going to reset up. Still working on that near side, though. Now pulls it out of the box. Good pass. Good pass back and forth. Again, if you're watching the Salt Lake offense, you almost think, where was this in the first half? Headed out there that time, Iowa Western. They try to get up quickly to Southern.
Yeah, it's definitely a drastic difference from the first half to the second half in what Salt Lake has done in the offensive capacity.
We are a little over 11 minutes into the second half. Knotted up after first goal was scored in the 24th minute. Ibram Condi for Iowa Western. And then in the 53rd minute, Salt Lake responded with a goal from Jiva. Well, sorry, the announcer PA guy says, by the way, says Jiva. And the only reason I originally went with that is we've got Southern in the foot race. Play, but however, Iowa Western does keep it. Reaver's still coming. Working over the right side where nobody's home. And an unforced error from Cuevas. But no, I heard some of the Salt Lake players yelling at him, and it's more of a soft J. So I was like, oh, well then I'm going to go with Eva then. If that's what they say, then they probably have a better idea than we.
I would think so.
Ball in midfield. Now over there. There's Condi again. Condi trying to keep up. Give Iowa Western yet another chance at it, but taken away. There's some aggressiveness. That's right there. That's Cuevas again. Gets the ball in the middle. Now working over the left side. Condi with the ball. Makes a move. Poked away. Good defensive work there. Yet again by the Bruins. Over that pass too far away for Giba to handle. Pass forward. Good positioning. Except for that pass.
Yeah, some uncharacteristic plays by Iowa Western.
Whistle with his player down. I believe that's Azrael Johnson for Salt Lake. Watching to see if we're going to go and take our water now. I haven't seen an official signal for that.
If it wasn't signaled, the guys were headed that way.
I guess one of those moments where maybe if all the players take it, the official will be like, throw up your hands. I guess we'll take it as well. Take this moment to mention Bob McCloskey Insurance is proud to be the official athletic insurance provider of the NJCAA and provide the coverage for NJCAA student athletes protected on the field or court. Bob McCloskey Insurance, we've got you covered. All right, Mike, we're almost a third of the way through the second half. What do you think? What are your thoughts right now?
Well, we talked about the script being flipped on Salt Lake comparative to their performance yesterday and Iowa Western's performance against them in the first half. Well, Salt Lake has flipped the script of their performance here with their outing offensively here in the second half. They've been the more aggressive team. They have then obviously got the equalizing goal, and they've been pushing the issue and have Iowa Western now on their heels, and Iowa Western making some uncharacteristic mistakes that they haven't necessarily done here at the national tournament, and I'm going to venture to say probably haven't done very much during the season, given that the unblemished record with losses wise, 16-0-2. But we'll see if Salt Lake continues to that pace and can put it together for a few more minutes to get another goal, or will Iowa Western settle themselves back down and regather themselves to be the Iowa Western that they can.
That's it'll be interesting to watch. Like, will this be the new norm, if you will, for the second half for Salt Lake, or are they going to revert Iowa Western or now Iowa Western become like the team we've seen pretty much all tournament? Again, they haven't been high scoring for most of the tournament, grinding out wins.
For Salt Lake, they, in my opinion, they cannot let up.
Yes.
They need to keep that pressure going. If you don't get another goal, obviously you want to get one because that'll put you ahead and earn you the win. But you got to keep pushing no matter what, just to keep Iowa Western honest. And if you're the Reavers, you've got to be able to get back to some sense of the first half, not necessarily controlling it, and dominating as they did, but getting some sense of that where you can get some offensive chances as well. The shots are even at 5 now.
Exactly. Iowa Western used to, I guess, settle down again. I think it's something you say they need to force things, and again, that's why they can make some uncharacteristic errors. Again, it's just tied. They're not down. We're up. It's all ones apiece right here.
The other interesting point of the fact that we have these water breaks, obviously utilized because of the heat and maintaining everybody, and making sure that everybody's safe and such, but it's a de facto timeout. I mean, you have opportunities to strategize, which you don't necessarily have in a soccer match, because the clock continues to go. You don't really have those situations unfold. But here's an opportunity a couple times in each half for now the coaches to evaluate things with everyone, not just one or two guys, but with everyone, and maybe, change some things up.
Exactly. Okiyosha with the free kick, but it's a wall of Reavers. Comes back, but Salt Lake does end up with it right now. I'm going to test their luck on the far side. Rotating it back towards the center of the field. A little back and forth action now over here on this sideline with Eva with the ball. And Eva has the one goal for Salt Lake. He's going to take it. I'm not sure if that was just a cross, I guess is what that would be.
Yeah, I definitely just trying to set up one of his teammates, but the avenue just cut off. I mean, right there in the passing lane was the Reaver defense.
Johnson with the ball now. Gives it up. We're now in the corner. A nice pass to Aisu. Nice job working the ball around. That, though, is going to be kicked away. Will be a corner kick for Salt Lake. Looks to be just their second corner kick of the day. That ball kicked away by number 8, Gonzalo Cuevas. Cuevas, a native of Santiago, Chile. And yes, I do enjoy using that voice. Corner is up. Batted around. And almost went back out of bounds. Did not, went up, but out off of the reverse. Salt Lake will maintain possession right there. We're seeing a lot of number 34. Just interesting note just how much he's played today, and that we didn't see a whole lot of him. In fact, I don't remember him even getting in during the pool play. Maybe the second game, but not much. On the other hand, the Reavers trying to get something going offensively. There's a lot more of defenders than there are Reavers down there. Okay, well, that's Kayado with the ball, by the way. That's just taking number 11. He is the second leading goal scorer on this Reavers team. However, he's had a pretty quiet tournament, honestly.
Well, we talked about obviously the line change, and like just about every single player on the Iowa Western's bench is standing up right now. That doesn't necessarily mean they're going to sub in. They got 2 guys ready to sub in, but just engaged in the matchup. I mean, because you flip it over, Salt Lake's got a lot of guys standing up too that are engaged in this one.
Yeah, earlier on, actually, I looked over this thinking the same thing because Iowa Western had a lot more standing as the ball does end up down on the left side. Bruins on the attack. Shot is easily gathered up by Millard, getting right to him. But now Salt Lake has spread out more. They were tightly packed there for a while in the first half in particular, but almost like their bench has responded to how their play is. You'll ever see it here now. About to enter 28 minutes remaining here in half number 2.
One thing we talked about yesterday, and you mentioned it briefly, I know in the first half a little bit as well. I'll get to it in a second.
Coyote moves up to the middle. Oh, trying to set up his own shot. He's the second lead scorer in the squad, and there is, you can see a glimpse as to why he's easily avoided a couple defenders trying to set up his own work. That's that long pass headed out of bounds.
You mentioned Kayado. He obviously being one of the go-to scorers for the Reavers. If this game remains where it is, 1-1, what's the percentage, I wonder, of Kayado and Southern in at the same time? We saw it briefly late in the matchup yesterday, but I mean, that time it's obviously press time to try to go for the game-winning goal. You put them both in that sequence if you're Coach Mike Brown and the Reavers.
I wonder particularly if we're still tied, or perhaps even if they're maybe down 1 or something like that in the waning last maybe 10 minutes or so. That's I guess we'll see. We'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, how much does that play? I mean, even for Salt Lake side too, how much does that play to the personnel that you put in? Because do you play to preserve the tie? Do you play to be the aggressive team and try to win it?
I am no genius.
Neither am I.
But I would suggest that Salt Lake keep doing what they're doing, and Iowa Western do what they did in the first half, and we'll see where we end.
Yes.
Make sure to keep up with the latest news and updates regarding NJCAA men's soccer, as well as women's soccer, and any other sport that the NJCAA hosts competitions in by visiting the official website of the National Junior College Athletic Association at www.njcaa.org.
Well, I do understand game plans and breakdowns of all that stuff, and I as a broadcaster even watch some film sometimes of sports. I definitely would not be wanting to wear the coach hat, a lot as well. I don't know how effective I would be in that capacity.
So there's only one sport I've ever spent any time as a coach, and that was just at the high school level. They're down. He's rolling around. I guess probably get away with that now. Now the turf isn't quite as hot as it was earlier in the day. Again, the sun has set here. I would call this especially dusk or close to it. That pass going to be headed away. Batted back to the middle of the field. Officials have decided they're tired of watching player down, so we'll go check on him. While they check on him, you should check out shop.njcaa.org, because there is where all your official 2021 NJCAA Division 1 and 2 and 3 men's soccer championship, as well as women's soccer, blah, blah, blah. All of them, all the championship merchandise is online at the NJCAA store. Again, that is shop.njcaa.org, and that's where you view it, and not just view it, that's where you get to buy it too. And if you buy it today and it's your first order, you can reach 10% off by using promo code WELCOME10. And all orders over $75 receive free shipping. As we see Ahisu, helped off the field. Under his own power, though, he'll be most likely be fine. And yeah, once again, that's shop.njcaa.org and order your official championship gear. Don't settle for unofficial. Get official championship gear today.
25-20 left to go in regulation here.
A couple new bodies back in for Salt Lake.
In the game for the Bruins, number 17, Jason Chavez, along with number 24, Santiago Delfino.
Jason Chavez actually got a start the other day, but did not start today. And it's the first time I can remember his name being said. That's cross deflected away. So again, Iowa Western's getting back to being a little more aggressive here in the last couple minutes. Looking more like the Iowa Western saw at the beginning of the game, really.
And Salt Lake's done a lot better of a job to not be just dispossessed by the Reavers so easily.
Indeed.
Not that the Reavers haven't taken it away back from them, but it hasn't happened at the ease that it happened in the first half.
Well, that pass ended up going to nobody. Whoever was supposed to be on the left wing was not there, and here comes Salt Lake. Ball ahead to Johnson. He's got a shot at it, and that is no. As Millard came out to challenge, Johnson had a great look at it, though. I know he's trying to avoid Millard's challenge, so essentially Millard altered the shot, if you will.
Galera, e como eu falei, acho que não tanto pelo vento, mas realmente o segundo tempo, Salt Lake tá atacando muito mais. Então, faltando aí 25 minutos, Iowa Western ainda deve trocar pelo menos metade do time aí, mas deu uma equiparada no jogo. O primeiro tempo foi muito mais de Iowa Western, agora Salt Lake tá conseguindo jogar um pouco mais. Então vamos ver se pelo menos acaba empatado ou não. Se acabar empatado, continuar empatado, prorrogação, overtime, 2 tempos de 10 minutos, persistindo empate, pênalti. Ou então não, quem ganhar em qualquer placar é campeão nacional, aí pode levantar taça, comemorar, enfim.
Left to play here in regulation.
I will say if the rest of the 23 minutes and change as the intensity that we've seen over the last 5 minutes, seems like both teams really, since the score got tied up again, both teams have ratcheted up the intensity level a little bit. It should be a fun one.
Yeah,
not that it hasn't been already.
Yeah, and it has, definitely. And if it keeps that way, though, I think we'll see a goal too.
I think you're right as well. Poked ahead. Oh, well, there's going to be a good opportunity for it right there. You were tried to release for that pass, and he gets tripped up, and there'll be a kick from there. Watch him getting helped up. You look at Jonathan Castro helping up his teammate. I'm sorry if I didn't. So I got somewhere else I got to be. So give it there again with Cuevas. Cuevas to take the kick. 2-man wall in front of him. A lot of communication, a lot of discussion. Iowa Western players. Ball is up. In traffic. Millard was able to tip it out, punch it out more accurately. That's not a tip, that's a punch. But however, the ball stays with Salt Lake. Salt Lake now on the left side, trying to work their way in. Western defense collapsing pretty quickly. That's going to be out of bounds. That's going to be a corner kick. All right.
A corner kick has been awarded to the Bruins.
It could have gone either way. That's corner kick number 3 for Salt Lake. Again, this is interesting how few shots Salt Lake had at half.
And now up to 8.
And now that's a dramatic improvement. And we'll see if we can maybe get 9 right here. Ball away. Headed out. But now moving back in. Unfortunately for Salt Lake. That's Jason Chavez ends up kicking it out of bounds. And it will be a throw in for Iowa Western. 21-15. Fishing on the clock. A few substitutes in and out.
Now in the game for the Reavers, number 13, Ariata Segusa. Number 17,
That was
Ibrahim Condi.
Condi checks back in as well as Segusa
Keiko Tanaka.
and Tanaka. And that's like a mini line change, I
And
suppose.
number 26,
So there's another one. Yep.
Vlad Jokic.
Vlad Jokic as well. So that's a 4 in for Iowa Western. We got to look at Dio Katana. Another quick whistle. Look at the official there, regulating, and he's. I do not envy the officials today, particularly in the early game. Now maybe not as bad, but they normally get a workout anyway, and it's like a special bonus workout today. It's out of bounds to the Bruins on the far side. They will throw in. Someone gets her. There we go.
I've never seen an unfit soccer official, though.
I don't think you ever will.
Yes.
And now Salt Lake attacking here on the near side.
In the game
That's
for the Brewers,
Mason McRae had it with number 6. There we go. I just said, and he has the ball again. This time gets it over to Chavez. Chavez brings it back to the middle. Over to Delfino. Delfino now they're going to try the left side. There's Okiyoshi with it. It is. Go ahead. There's a shot, and it's up and over everything. Owusu wasn't a bad look, but it's a long ways away trying to make something in. And A for effort, but no damage done. Iowa Western now trying to refine a little bit of their offensive footing. They've settled down a little bit from where they were, it seemed they were making uncharacteristic errors. See if they can threaten from here. That's a lot of contact. Again, Ray in the middle of it.
It was outside the box.
It was. Just looks like that Southern going to set it up from there.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's the one that actually just directs it towards the goal from the kick, let alone somebody else.
Yeah, they get it again. The 2-man wall. Salt Lake to finish setting up, talking amongst themselves, making sure every avenue that can be covered is covered. Bolivares is set up. That kick in position to be this good pass attempt. No one was there. Long range shot by Diego Katana.
Surprised that even made it all the way to the goal with as many bodies as it had to go through.
Somehow, some way it did. And then we're going to have a free kick down here. Helping clean his cleat off even. That's a new level of sportsmanship.
I think he actually got a shoestring stuck to him.
I think so
maybe.
too. Johnson down there. Johnson got knocked over there. He does not look like someone who's easy to knock over.
It's pretty stout young man out there.
Right. Kick is up. Kick is fielded by Millard. We'll see. Looks like he was running out. He was trying to get the Iowa Western offense going early, going quickly, while the Salt Lake team was still getting back, but ended up having to hold it for a second or 4. Iowa Western still going to work though. Now crossing midfield on the right side, advancing the ball. Still on that side, staying over there. A little bit of foot race. The Iowa Western player wins, and then he's taken down. No whistle, though, and it's going to be corner kick for Iowa Western. What do you think of that?
Close.
Fair.
That's why I'm not the official. That's for sure.
And you talk about them being invisible. Again, let them play. That's fair.
Yeah.
Unless it's egregious, particularly to a penalty kick. In a situation like this,
Yeah.
17 minutes ago, could be potentially game-changing. Is that corner kick up, headed over? That goes out of bounds. It should be a throw-in for Iowa Western. Indeed it is.
I definitely understand why the whistle wasn't put in there, but I could see why that it could be too.
Yes. Up next, I'll have you'll have to officiate blocks and charges.
Yes. Good old blocks and charges in basketball.
In basketball, yes. That's one of the least favorite things to press my rule of thumb on that. It was the same thing as actually happened right there. If there's any question, just don't call anything.
Yes.
Simple rule of thumb, right? Ball ends up with Salt Lake. And they're back on the move. Ball over there for one of his speedsters. That's Owusu. Ball being poked away, but will stay with Salt Lake. For a second, thought he was going to throw it in, and he's like, nah.
E para quem tá acompanhando também, galera, tá nítida a diferença também de jogo de Iowa Western para Salt Lake. Salt Lake é uma equipe com mais americanos e joga também um futebol mais americanizado. Essa bola no ponta, bola esticada. O ponta lá, acho que é o número 7, né, que é muito rápido, forte, então exploram muito mais isso. Iowa Western não, mais estrangeiro, um jogo um pouco mais técnico. Mas é aquilo, não tem certo e errado, são formas de jogar e por enquanto estão empatando. Então, cada um jogando com as qualidades e com as características dos seus jogadores e como eles vêm treinando. Mas, de novo, eu acho que pode pesar bastante, ainda mais, como o Antônio falou, 4 jogos em 5 dias que eles estão tendo, então acho que a Iowa Western, por ter mais elenco agora, a perna da galera aí já deve estar pesando, se entrar em overtime, então vamos acompanhar, ver como vai ser.
Android TV, so there's really no excuse. If you want to catch NJCAA in action, there's really no excuse not to be watching it. See, there it is. There's the app right there.
Yeah. Can pull up the app on my phone.
All right. In the meantime, if you don't watch things, let's say you don't watch an archive broadcast, you just want to catch the Cliff Notes version of it. The latest news and updates regarding NJCAA, men's soccer, and all their other sports are on the official website of the National Junior College Athletic Association at www.njcaa.org.
Yeah, good recap and rundown of the women's contest I saw on the website when I was looking at last night, and they'll have all tournament teams for D1 and D2 up there, along with recap of pool play and then the semifinals and championships as well. So lots of great information at the official website of the National Junior College Athletic Association, NJCAA.org.
Exactly. I've heard a complaint, and I will try not to channel my father here, but I've heard this complaint, talking about bemoaning the lack of, perhaps in your local news media, lack of space for local sports outside of, perhaps there's room for a national story, or maybe but less room for high school sports or junior college sports, or really even, everything but the highest level. And on the other hand, though, the information is out there, and whether through the NJCAA site, as well as all the schools, every school has an SID and a sports information director. Their job is to get up there. Yes. A lot of them do, and a lot of these their job is to keep all that information out there. As we watch Salt Lake going to work on the far side. Sorry, there are sources for information. It may not be the traditional way you've done it for years.
And I'm sure for you too. I speak because I was on the D2 side for the pool play side of things. But the coaches are a plethora of information as well, and they're usually forthcoming. Athletic directors as well. I got some really good pieces of information for some of the broadcasts from some of the ADs that were in attendance. So the administrators definitely, and the coaches themselves have been very great and gracious to us, I know, for the content we've been able to provide.
It has been great days. A lot of camaraderie, even on the rival schools and all that kind of good stuff. It's just been, I think a great experience for
On
everyone.
field for the Bruins is number 34. Samson
And here we go. Yusu kicks in. We're under 15 to play. Now, Iowa Western.
He left with an injury. He did leave on his own accord, but good to see him back in.
Indeed. Bruins inbound. Keep the ball here on the near sideline. Nice little touch pass. Off and running. There's McCray. He turns the ball over. So the Reavers will try it right here. Around the same location. Just keep the ball in. Again, right there he is, right there. That's Jiwoo Lee actually with the ball. He gives it away. There's a Hisu there. That kick. Normally, I'm used to at this point for a kick like that to see a streaking Bruin coming after that. Whether it's Johnson, Hiba, or Owusu, and it wasn't one that time.
No.
Iowa Western working there now on the far side. We'll bring it back to the middle, trying to set up another scoring attempt. Nice pass over to the near side. Brings away Cuevas. Cuevas sets up something. There's a decent shot and nothing doing though. Great job by Oliveras being in the right place. I think that's Iowa Western's first shot in a little bit. Probably not, but that.
Yeah, well, it's the first one in a while.
Yeah,
that's for sure. Just their 7th overall. They're actually being outshot by Salt Lake 9-7 now.
That's a dramatic turn of events from where we were at the half. Still 1-1 though. With the ball in the middle of the field. Ariata Segusa. Segusa gets it over to the left side. Now ends up finally with Cuevas. Cuevas is going to bring it back. That's Segusa in front of him. The back line there was Tomai Donig. Haven't seen much of him. Number 4 for Iowa Western, but he's the far back right now. As that would be crossed, doesn't go anywhere. Southern fighting for it. Little stutter step move there. Ends up tries to get something going.
Salt Lake wanted a handball. It looked like they were kind of pleading their case for that, but
well, while they didn't get that, they do have the ball. Oliveras holds on to it. Looks like he's trying to roll it somewhere and then just gave up and booted it deep. So just got an interesting style there. That pass again up and over there. Southern yet again. Long pass. Condi with the ball now on the right side. Keeps it. And then booted away. That cleared. Well done by Salt Lake. That ball was in a dangerous place there for a bit.
Little nutmeg over there. Went through the legs of Salt Lake defender.
Salt Lake does end up with it for at least a second. That's it right towards the middle. 2 players go up for it. Neither of them get it. However, for a brief second, Ohio Western had it right down the middle. There's that ball bounced one too many times for Wooster to be able to get control of it and get it over to Johnson.
And Owosu actually gets ticketed for this foul here. And then he's going to take a seat, actually, too.
Protest move or? I'm kidding.
He's on the sideline.
He is. So does it give away which sport I coach if I say, like, I just drag him off a little bit so we can get going? Training staff out there looking at him.
Salt Lake, number 22.
You might not do it, but the official just did. So he's like, we got to get going again.
All right, we have things to do. We have 10 minutes and 59 seconds here in the second half to see if we can't break this 1-1 tie. And he is up on the sideline. You can see him in the back there. His sit-in for the foul called against him is over. He's accepted his fate. And
on the field for the Bruins, number 5, Daniel Tariki.
Tariki checks in for the. Actually, no, he's checking for someone else. Anyway, doesn't matter. He is in the game nonetheless, and Western with the ball. Reavers looked a little more aggressive the last couple minutes. I'm Okay. I should be watching I should watch the other thing. The problem is there's some fans, which is great. There's fans blocking a little bit of my view if I go too far, if I don't stand up here in a minute. But anyway, Iowa Western working the far sideline. Again, trying to break this 1-1 tie. We're closing in on the 10-minute mark here in the second half. That ball out of bounds will be a goal kick. So sorry, this could be in a promising possession. Ends up yet another kick from Oliveris.
Their life has kind of been breathed back into the offensive attack for the Reavers, though, over the last handful of minutes. They kind of have mounted a couple of opportunities.
Desperately needed at this point. We're now under 10 to play. Again, no whistle. Again, I like the no whistle there for the record. Not that anybody asked me. Here come the Reavers down the near sideline. That's the move. They're going to rotate it back around. Showing some of the patience they showed earlier. There's a little touch pass. No. Not in a great position, though. Oliveris. I'm sure they made it look like there's more contact there actually was. That's deep kick. Johnson, the intended target. Fighting for the ball is Hisu. He doesn't get it, though. Iowa Western does. Oh, that is Southern.
Yeah, he's offside.
But he was offsides, indeed.
I saw even before the flag flew up, the back line of Salt Lake was looking over to the assistant referee on the far side, throwing up his hands in the motion of the flag, saying he's offside.
Yeah. Hey. One would assume he wasn't going to miss that call. We have a timeout on the field. There's a player down. He's getting stretched out, so he's getting a little looser here for the final 9:06. Like what do you expect to see for this final 9 minutes?
Well, Iowa Western has picked it back up, like we just talked about. So we'll see if that aggressive nature pays dividends. Like it did in the first half for their lone goal, or will Salt Lake, who has pretty much controlled the second half mostly, be able to utilize that to their advantage. I mean, it's been a tale of two halves, obviously, and literally, I mean, the goals were in different halves overall between the two teams, and it's the respective half that each team, when they netted the goal, they were the aggressive team.
Exactly. So it's really just a matter of who's going to be the last team to
who's
have
going
that
to try
aggression to him.
Yeah, he's just going to try to take back over and say we wanted a little more than the other.
Again, this is what we expected. 1 versus 2 in the polls and the seedings. And it's been everything it was cracked up to be. Clock is running right now. There will be another kick. Ball going to be put into play by Millard. The red shirt freshman from Brisbane, Australia.
And now on the game for Iowa Western, number 2, Bernardo Grego. Number 9,
So,
Intellico. And
I
number 11,
I assume it's all right that we call him an Aussie. Is that acceptable, right?
Yeah.
Is it acceptable to call a New Zealander a Kiwi, though?
Probably not. I don't know.
I don't think it's an offensive term. I just a nickname of sorts.
True.
But the reason I asked is Paul Richenow for Salt Lake is actually from New Zealand. Oh, back and forth. That could be trouble. Ball deflected out of bounds. Will be a corner kick. Nice work. And you mentioned who's being more aggressive, but definitely seeing the Reavers be more aggressive right now. That was a nice opportunity. The corner kick coming from Giorgio Probo. He set it up. He just keeps it near the player. They keep it for a second.
I'm interested because Iowa Western, something that stood out to me with their corners, they haven't really played them into the box.
There's a shot. There's nothing to. Oh,
wow.
Oliveris, a nice play. That looked like that was just had a goal written all over it.
It did.
It'll be another Another corner.
Yeah, another corner. I mean, but Western hasn't really sent the corners directly off their foot into the box. They play it in short and then try to set up a cross. Interesting just to see, because that's not a typical thing you see.
That time they try for the box. That is off of a reaver. A little hard to get that number right now.
Always works that way. When you say something, they do the exact opposite of what
Right.
you just said.
It's like the opposite of the announcer jinx.
Yes.
Every time this happens.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, every time. And then boom.
Owusu checks back in for Salt Lake. Again, 6:25 on the clock. So now they have their starting front line in there for the Bruins, Johnson, Owusu, and blanking something. It's right in front of Yiba. There we go. Ball bounces around for a little bit.
The top two guys, goal scoring wise for Salt Lake, are both in.
Vizcayato with the ball. Push it up, nice little ball movement, nice little pass. Pulls it back out. Siley still on the right side. They're going to try to rotate it around. Looking for some kind of opportunity here to break this tie. I said that's Yiba with the ball. A lot of contact, no whistle. I think it's just out of bounds. It will be just thrown in. Ball bounces around for a little bit. No, it said it was going to be a kick right there.
Kind of a de facto corner, just obviously.
Pronto, só uma falha técnica rapidão, voltou. Faltando 3 minutos. É isso, galera. Ficar assim é prorrogação, não tem muito intervalo, só beber uma água e voltar. 2 tempos de 10 minutos. Se fizer gol, acaba, pode tirar a camisa, comemorar, enfim, gol de ouro. Zerou ali o cronômetro, voltou. Faltam 3 minutos e 20 segundos. E quase gol. Mas se persistir empate também na prorrogação, no overtime, é pênalti normal, 5 para cada lado, aí é a regra normal de penalidades, empatando, alternadas, enfim, tudo isso que vocês conhecem.
Will we have overtime in both the Division II and Division I games? These two teams certainly very evenly matched. It's almost like not even momentum. It's like you get until 2 halves, and then the last 10 minutes or so has actually been more what I expected all game, I guess.
Yeah.
That goes out of bounds. Will be Iowa Western's ball. Inbounding on the far side, and now going to move it back over here. Passing and work this near sideline, at least for a second. Trying to move with a little bit of urgency, but not so urgent that you end up with turning the ball over or kicking out of bounds or losing it anyway you can. But they did. Salt Lake with it now. And there'll be a foul there. Under 2 to play. Here come the Bruins. Here in a second. I thought they might move with a little more urgency with the clock going, but worst case scenario for them right now would be, I think in the back of your head thinking like, worst going to have is overtime. That ball, Johnson, that's going to outkick the coverage, if you will.
Yeah, it's tough because it's like you're tied, and worst case scenario, you continue on. You're not going to lose per se, but you don't want the other team to have an offensive touch in the waning portion of the matchup. But you also want to get a look for yourself.
Exactly. A lot of jockeying for position there. Reavers doing up with the ball, working that right side. Looking for another opportunity again. We're at minute 10 remaining. That kick across everything. Booted out of trouble. Nice job defensively by Salt Lake. Now trying this side.
We have 1 minute left in
If the
regulation.
move, that's going to be shot no good. Wide right. They're saying it was tipped. It was tipped, in fact. So it'll be a corner for Iowa Western. Clock ticking.
Corner kick for Iowa Western.
You can hear the Iowa Western faithful here. Really their team on for their first year, which is 2013. That kick. That's going to be another corner. No?
Nope.
All right.
Goal kick.
It is a goal kick. So it looks like we're going to have to hunker down, barring something dramatic here in the final 15 seconds. With the speed Olivars is showing, I'm thinking that's
10,
not an option.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
And
2,
that headed
1.
not even
0.
another attempt.
Time.
That is it. All right, so
Time has expired.
time expired. So we're going to overtime. 10-minute overtime taking place here in about 5 minutes. Because why not?
Do it again.
Iowa Western Community College Reavers 1. Salt Lake Community College Bruins 1. Tell you what, let's go ahead. We'll take the break now, and then we'll come back and talk about everything here in just a few minutes. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, we'll be back in just a few.
As the second largest intercollegiate athletic association in the country, the NJCAA serves not only a pivotal role in college athletics, but in higher education. The NJCAA Foundation aims to move the association forward through resources, grant programs, and other special initiatives. Your gift to the NJCAA.
Galera, foi como o comentarista falou. A D2 tinha ido para prorrogação, agora na D1 também indo para prorrogação. Vou até soltar aqui, pra vocês verem como que acabou a prorrogação do jogo da Southeastern. Foi no primeiro tempo da prorrogação, com 3 minutos de jogo. Foi um gol bem rápido mesmo da Southeastern. Vou soltar aqui para vocês.
Our students go out into the world with confidence.
I know who I am.
Pfeiffer has it all. The only thing that's missing is you.
E esse foi o jogo da Southeastern, tava no overtime também, e o Guilherme, brasileiro, fez o gol do título com essa calma. Vou até deixar rodar mais vezes aí. Saiu na cara do gol, ainda deu uma cavada no goleiro, enfim, golaço. Na prorrogação também, o caso de agora. Fez o gol, acabou o jogo na hora ali, ó. Acabou, já podia tirar a camisa, enfim, aí já não tá valendo nada, o campeonato acabou e eles foram campeões. Eu falei que se provavelmente se ele for corintiano, ele aprendeu isso com o Romarinho lá na La Bombonera. Mas é isso, só deixar rodar um pouco, ainda tá no intervalo. Voltando do intervalo, como eu falei, os times nem descem pro vestiário, vai ser só um intervalinho só para beber água e já começa o overtime direto. Vou até voltar aqui para a transmissão.
All week, but it is no longer sunny. It is now, we're playing under the lights. Get a little bonus soccer right now is the championship game for Division One, just like Division Two earlier today, goes to overtime to sort it out to get our victor, and between Salt Lake Community College and Iowa Western Community College. Jeff Boone with Mike Smith. Mike, what are your thoughts on how the second half ended?
Not surprising. Both the we expected that latter portion of the second half to kind of be what the whole game was, but you have big pockets of possession for each team in each half. Obviously, that warranted each goal too. Western scoring the first half, and then Salt Lake counteracting in the second half to knot it up at 1, and then we go to the extra time here. But we'll see who comes out of the gate aggressive early in the OT.
Yeah, short version of the way this works, in case you're unfamiliar. We will play this overtime period. It is a sudden death or golden goal, or sudden victory, I think it is.
Yeah.
Sudden death is, it all means the same thing, but I like the positive spin on it. Anyway, here's a great opportunity early on for Iowa Western. That's going to be out of bounds. No, it bounced. Interesting spin on that ball, and that'll be that whistle will go against Iowa Western. So a good opportunity. That was a part of a head to the cheek of the Salt Lake player who is.
Yeah, Paul Rich now. This
Yes.
I think that's the good gentleman that's down at the moment. Kind of had a little head collision, unfortunately there. Hopefully he's all right as we just got into the second half. But
we'll look at it. Yeah, it's probably doesn't feel good. That is for sure. Yeah, we had to get one more look. He's going up, and he gets the side of a head to his cheek, but he's up now. Anyway, so we have a 10-minute overtime period to sudden victory. I don't know why sudden death seems so much more dramatic. Anyway, so should neither team score in the first overtime, we'll take another 5-minute intermission, come back for another 10 minutes. And should that not be enough, we will go to penalty kicks. I missed anything?
Nope.
Okay. So yeah, we're here. This is the culmination of essentially a week of soccer action here at Stryker Complex. We started with 12 teams, Division 2, 12 teams for Division 1, played pool in 4 different pools, ended up with 4 teams in the semifinals. On the Division 2 side, 12 ended in 1 earlier today. Right now, we still have 2 on the field right here. I get 1 and 2 seed-wise, and that is living up to that level of hype right now. You're seeing there's two very evenly matched teams. First goal happened for Iowa Western. That passed up to Johnson. Johnson couldn't handle it, though. Happened in the 24th minute, the first half, obviously. That was Ibrahim Kandi for Iowa Western. Put the Reavers on the board, and that 1-0 lead held up for some time until the 53rd minute. Ryan Jiba ends up equalizing it at 1-1, and that's where we still are.
Oh, yeah. This is our 30th match of the two tournaments combined.
Yes, and certainly the mood up here, both in the booth and in the press box is. We've been together for a while.
We have.
All right, now we're 3 minutes into the overtime. Maybe one shot on goal. Maybe I can't even tell. I don't even remember if that was even a true shot. Iowa Western have been more aggressive here in overtime, and yet we see it again. That's a recent setup. Good pass. Across in the middle. There's a shot, and it is deflected. Nice defense. Great play, Oliveras. There's a shot. I know that one for sure.
Yes.
And I wasn't trying to tack down over on the right side. Get the ball taken away from them.
Yeah, that being the 11th shot for Iowa Western, who now actually is out shooting at Salt Lake. Salt Lake has 9 shots.
Oh, that's a nice defensive effort right there. 26. That is Vlad Jocic. Sorry. Unfortunately, no one over on the left side. Connie tries to get up to it. Oh, that would have been quite the play right there. It has been fun. I will say this, as you get a close-up look on Kiego Tanaka. I think it's been fun hearing some of the Iowa Western fans try to fire up the crowd as well and fire up the team. Now ball on the far side. Ball gets lost. You can't do that. Even I could have made that call from here. The official has also helped on the sideline. He's got it. I don't need the help. No yellow card, though. Very few of those today.
Yeah, only one on each side.
Playing for kick. That is Daniel Tariq. Tariq gets it deep to Johnson there on the left side. He tries to pass it up to Owusu. It's deflected out of bounds. There's, I was going to say, there must be a sub. I couldn't see him for a second. Azrael Johnson checks in. Number 19. He doesn't have to go far when he checks in, though, just staying over on the far sideline. That would be my favorite kind of check in. Johnson with the ball in the corner. Defending him is Joel Kwashi.
Yep, got a corner here.
We do have another corner.
For the Bruins, it's number 19, Azrael Johnson.
I believe there's a third corner kick for Salt Lake all day.
Yeah, I Western at 7.
Yeah, not a lot of opportunity. Oh, it'll be Anderson Velasquez kicking it in right there. Kick up in the middle. Header is good. We have our champion right there. Salt Lake, the number 2 seed, gets their first national championship. Paul Richdown, who earlier in the overtime took the head to the cheek, stays in and gets the header right in. We take another look at it. The Velasquez kick is beautiful. Richdown's header even better, and the look on the faces of the Iowa Western players, and understandably so. The ball goes past Millard and the defender. Wow, Mike, what are your thoughts on that? That's a finish.
That was a beautiful finish there to cap it off, and I mean, huge.
E é isso, jogo decidido na bola parada. Na minha opinião aqui, até vendo o replay,
stuck with it. I mean,
o goleirão
that
não
first
precisava
half
ter
was not
saído
in
nessa
their
bola, a
favor
bola
in
já
any
tinha
capacity at
corrido,
all.
né? Já tinha
Very
passado ali
limited
pro segundo
opportunities.
pau, ele foi
They come out in the
confiante, não
second
achou
half,
nada,
they played as the
e aí
aggressive,
cabeceou pro gol
pure
vazio.
emotion from the guys.
Mas é isso,
But,
comemoração
an
Salt
electric
Lake,
finish,
número 2 do
here for
país,
Salt Lake, and
campeã
they get the
nacional,
better of Iowa
não
Western
manteve
and
a
an upset
escrita aí
to
da
some
número
sense.
1
Salt Lake,
ser a
very good
campeã
team,
nacional.
but Iowa Western
E
obviously
é
been a
isso,
more
deixar
team
soltar
for
um
most of
pouco
the
a
year, or top
comemoração, vamos ver se eles
and
entregam
Salt
o
Lake
troféu no
making
próprio
an
campo agora.
exceptional play to tie the
Vamos ver
second
como que
half,
vai
and
ser,
then
não
obviously
consegui
win it
acompanhar
in
da
overtime.
D2. Então, é isso. O Vinícius Andrade estava até comentando aqui que estava muito chutão, mas, cara, eu acho que entra muito preparo físico. Não preparo físico que eles estavam mal fisicamente, mas daquilo que o Antônio falou. São 4 jogos em 5 dias para as duas equipes. Então, no verão, galera cansada, e aí fica difícil ter aquele jogo mais bonito no meio. Mas estavam jogando do jeito que dava e bola parada é aquilo. Uma falha, uma saída errada do goleiro, já era.
In their first ever tournament appearance, as they defeat Iowa Western Community College Reavers 2-1. So, for Mike Smith, I'm Jeff Boone. They're going to do a presentation. You can stay tuned. We're tuning out, but the PA guy will take care of the all tournament teams as well as the award. The big hardware gets handed out, but we're done up here. So again, look at the happiness right there, the elation, Salt Lake fans, Salt Lake team, and attendance. So anyway, but yeah, for Mike Smith, I'm Jeff Boone. Thank you all for watching us here on the NJCAA network, and we will see you again some other time.
Olha, só para fechar, esse número 3 que estão filmando que fez o gol, ele parece ser americano, enfim, tem fisionomia, mas ele é da Nova Zelândia, então também decidido por um atleta internacional. Na D2 foi um brasileiro que fez o gol na prorrogação, e na D1 o atleta da Nova Zelândia fez o gol e Salt Lake campeã nacional da D1. Vários atletas aí devem sair para D1 da NCAA com transferências, mas enfim, coisa pro mercado do college depois.
Thank you.
Fala, Leonardo. Cara, não, é o que eu falei no início da transmissão. Nenhuma das duas equipes tem nenhum brasileiro. Então, diferente da NCAA D1 que a gente tinha a Marshall com 5 brasileiros, dessa vez não, e também é uma forma até de ver. Muita gente ainda acha que, pô, time lá que tem muito brasileiro é que vai destacar. Cara, não é assim. O time da Iowa Western tem, acho que 12 nacionalidades no time. Tem Austrália, japonês, chileno, argentino. Então, de novo, pra gente até baixar um pouquinho nossa bola, porque não tem mais aquela predominância de Brasil dominando tudo lá, não. É um futebol mundial e tem gente boa de todo que é lugar. Espanha, França, Alemanha, é o mundo inteiro indo para lá. Não tem mais essa só de brasileiro. E aí foi um exemplo. É lógico que a gente torceu para Iowa Lakes, que tinha 4 brasileiros, que estava na semifinal. Tem várias equipes fortes com muitos brasileiros, só que a gente não tá mais com aquele ponto, né, aquele lugar de ser unanimidade. O mundo inteiro querendo ir para lá, é jogador bom no mundo inteiro e acaba ficando assim. Estão botando já os prêmios ali. Uma coisa diferente também, chata, entre aspas, é porque é campo neutro, né? Então até tem alguma torcida, familiares que viajaram para lá, mas sem torcida local, né? Então por isso que a comemoração é um pouco mais fria. Lógico, quando eles voltarem para a universidade deles, deve ter algo maior. Mas é isso, uma faculdade de Salt Lake, que é em Utah, é lá para a esquerda, em cima da Califórnia, tá ganhando o Nacional no Kansas. Sei lá, um time aqui, botando uma comparação, é um time do sul do Brasil ganhando um campeonato lá no Tocantins. Então, lógico que não tem torcida deles por lá.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the field as the NJCAA Director of Championships, Rod Lovett, NJCAA Men's Soccer Sport Chair, Jay Mirhoff, and Visit Wichita staff present the awards. First, the NJCAA would like to recognize the following student athletes who make up the 12-man 2021 All-Tournament team. Harry Scott, Coastal Bend. Brian Vasquez, Laramie. Levante Johnson, Salt Lake. When you hear your name announced, if you could come forward and receive your medal. Thank you. Felipe D'Agostino from Barton. Patrick Millard from Iowa Western.
Eles estão anunciando agora aí a seleção do campeonato. Teve até um brasileiro da Barton, Felipe, que foi eleito, mas provavelmente a Barton não classificou para semis, então já devem ter voltado embora, devem mandar a medalha dele de seleção do campeonato depois. Aí o goleiro da Iowa Western, enfim, vamos escutar.
Ivan Callato from Iowa Western.
O outro da Iowa Western também. Número 11, né? Jogava aberto na ponta.
Sam Owusu, Salt Lake.
Jogador da Salt Lake também.
Logan Roach, Iowa Lakes. Evan Southern, Iowa Western.
Outro atleta da Iowa Western. E galera, é tipo isso, todo atleta que tá indo aí, esse cara fez 2 gols na semifinal também, muito bom jogador. É praticamente garantido que todos esses devem ir para alguma NCAA grande, né? Seleção do campeonato, enfim. Ainda mais quem for campeão, quem chegou na final.
The 2021 tournament most valuable player is
O melhor jogador do campeonato inteiro
Paul Richnow.
Foi o cara que fez o gol na final, o zagueiro. E é isso, também não tem que ser só os atletas que são seleção do campeonato que vão transferir para D1. A gente já teve vários atletas que nem chegaram em Nacional e transferiram para D1, Matheus, Pedro, Rafael, enfim. Só botando um parênteses, porque se você está entre os 11 melhores da liga, é lógico que você vai transferir com 100% para uma D1. É lógico, entre a idade, entre a elegibilidade, entre tudo isso. Mas é isso. Vou finalizar. Não, deixa eu rodar aqui a premiação, depois eu finalizo.
Number 1, Patrick Millard. Number 2, Bernardo Prego. Number 3, Diego Quintana. Number 4, Tom Lee Donig. Number 5, Tomas Quintana.
Ah, não, eles vão chamar um por um, já tá tarde, vou finalizar aqui. Então é isso, galera, boa noite aí pra todo mundo, espero que tenham curtido essa transmissão. E, de novo, tentem assistir esses jogos, vai ficar salvo aqui no canal, como um atleta, não tanto quanto torcedor. Analisa o que o jogador da sua posição fez, porque, de novo, isso aí é o top da liga de Junior College, que é onde a maioria dos atletas entram, e são atletas, provavelmente, todo mundo que estava aí nesse campo hoje vai transferir ou para uma D2, ou para uma NAIA, ou para uma D1 de alto nível. Então, aprenda com quem está fazendo o que você quer fazer daqui 1, 2, 3 anos. Então, nada mais que isso. Valeu, galera, boa noite, um abraço, até mais.